Hey, howdy, carnivores.
Good morning.
Hello.
What are you guys doing?
Sitting here with you.
You guys really got to be more exciting. Oh man, have any fun things happen this week or new plans,
Not
big life
really.
changes, revelations?
Dealing with allergies. That's what I've been dealing with this week. Sucks.
Oh, okay. It's spring there, is it? It's spring there now.
Uh,
Yeah.
Trees are opening up.
Well, it's autumn here and it's looking beautiful out there, but it's cold. Like I'm really feeling the cold. A lot more than I used to. I never used to feel the cold, and here I am with my jumper. I've got my fingers under my armpits trying to keep them turning blue.
It's not
So
even winter yet. Just
no,
wait.
no, and we didn't really have a good summer this year either. Like I didn't notice much of a summer, maybe 3 or 4 really hot days. So I just feel like we've been ripped off this year. So looking forward to Texas. I hear it's really warm. So I want some heat. I want some sunshine.
You'll get it.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's coming. We're gonna get real. Well, it'll be the summer you were looking for in Austin, but it'll be my nightmare.
Also, what, only 10 days, so it'll be a short summer. So I just get it all in one hit and then I'll be back to the Melbourne winter. So I
Right?
can recover. So
You're
I'm
gonna
looking
come
forward.
when you get there. You're gonna find me as a puddle on the ground.
Oh,
There's
good.
just gonna be a puddle with a hat sitting in it.
Nice.
Yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, I've been taking iodine. That seems to be helping quite a bit. That Lugel's 2% stuff. That's kind of new for me this week. And after watching Ken Berry's video with Dr. Brownstein, and some help from Cranky Carnivore, he helped me do the math. It's 1 milligram per drop, and so I'm taking 25 drops, 25 milligrams a day based off of that video. And it seems to be I feel pretty good. I just, mental clarity is pretty good. And just attitude. I feel like I don't have the hoarse throat thing that I was having, that was,
Oh,
yeah.
Voice is
interesting.
still annoying though.
Welcome. Hopefully it gets a little bit more just for you. So that's working really nicely. And then fasting has just been super easy lately with the 2-to-1 fat ratio that I've been telling you guys I've been doing. Um, although I think it's just the summer. I always I don't have an appetite when it's hot out. When it gets warm out, I just don't want to eat. It's just
Same.
like, yeah. And I think I'm officially there now because I did a 6-day fast. And then I ate for 4 days, just doing an OMAD each day. And then I did a 4.5 day fast, whatever. And then I broke that yesterday and I ate one meal and I am so not hungry. I do not want to eat anything right now. And it's crazy. I'm like, come on. So, because I really want to get some meals in so that I can start another, 3.5, 4-day fast, 84 hours or so on Tuesday. And I'm just like not hungry at all. So, but I don't know. You just kind of listen to your body type of thing. But the fasting has been really working that lymphedema mass on my left leg. It's been really nice to see it really chipping away at it. When I get into those deep fast over about 70 hours, you can just see it eating into those things. It's pretty crazy the work. I mean, autophagy is for real, and it goes and finds like the bad areas and it starts just going to work. So it's been pretty awesome.
And how have your ketones been? Like we used to register your ketones and you get very low numbers. So now are you getting a lot higher numbers, or is that sort of
Huge, like astronomical for me. So like low numbers now, before I could fast for 48 hours and I would pull like a 6
Nothing.
or 7,
Yep.
you know, and now a bad day for me is like a 28. And today was like 58 when I woke up, and I ate yesterday. Today was a 58. So yeah, my ketones are off the Richter scale right now. So
nice? I never
yeah.
got eater. Emma told me they lost my package, so I got a refund. So now I have to order another one.
Right. I know. I got one and it was bad, and I had to take it to Whole Foods because Amazon owns Whole Foods, and that's where you send crap back at.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm gonna have to see
yeah,
if I can find one at a chemist or something.
right.
Where they sell them there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. It's fun just to see, right? Mainly, I know that they're not the blow meters are not too accurate or whatever. They're fairly accurate. They say they can move around, but here's what it gives you a baseline, right?
Mhm.
And then that baseline, you can judge it by how you're feeling. If you feel good, you got good mental clarity and good brain power, you got good energy, you're sleeping better, those, that number's at a certain range, and you eat, maybe you're even losing weight or you can fast better than, and you're satiated, then you kind of know it's working. I just know, like, I like it because I know if I eat too much protein, I'll have a little bit of gluconeogenesis and it'll kick me out, right? And so I can see it in real time. That definitely tells me, right? Because I have a baseline. And so, I mean, for instance, I now know I can't eat over 70 grams of protein in a single meal without having some gluconeogenesis and having a spike. So I mean, to me, that's pretty valuable information.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a number like the scales. If you focus too much on them, it's a bit does your mind a problem. So yeah, I'm a bit nerdy with the numbers, so I like to just keep a record of everything and yeah, don't get too stressed out about it. But
Oh, and I know that people are like, I don't want to do math to eat, and I agree with you. You shouldn't have to. I just think our food environment's been infiltrated by poison, and so it's good to know, how what you run optimally on, because we need all the tools. In my opinion, we need all the tools to fight this as possible. And there's ways to simplify it. I only had to measure for quite literally 2 days, and now I just know instinctively that for me, 1 gram of ribeye is 5 grams of protein, 6 grams of fat. I figure half of that fat is rendering off. So I give it credit for 3 grams of fat in the steak, 5 grams of protein and this is per ounce of steak of ribeye. And I want to double the fat. So I know I have to supplement with 7 grams of tallow per 1 ounce of steak. I also know that, uh, that there's 5 grams of protein and I can't hit over 70 grams of protein or else I have gluconeogenesis. So I know that my, steak needs to be, you know, basically like 12 ounces. So 12-ounce steak, that means I'm going to have, basically 84 ounces of tallow with 12 ounces of ribeye. I can eat that, feel very satiated, very full, very good. And now, the fat's so satiating, it's hard to have an appetite. I don't know about you guys. When you eat that much tallow and fat, you're just like so satiated. But I think that's a good sign because I think that means that I'm very fat adapt.
kind of gone the other way because I'm not feeling hungry at all. I'm not eating a lot, but when I do try to eat, I'm not keeping it down either. I've got a lot of stress going on in my life at the moment with my daughters. Then both a little bit unwell at the moment, so I'm worried about them, my work, everything. I just feel like I'm so overwhelmed, and I think that stress because I have that lap band restriction, everything tightens up. So any meat that I have, I just seem to be bringing up. So I'm not getting any nourishment at all. So I kind of decided eggs seem to be okay. So doing like a bit of an egg prime, just having eggs throughout the day, no limit, just eat just to get nourishment in me. Do you think I should add extra tallow with with the eggs? Would that be because they're like 1-to-1 fat and protein?
I would double it, to be honest with you, because that's why I love eggs so much too. Is eggs soak up tallow beautifully. Like if you
Mhm.
scramble them, they just soak it up.
Yep. That's what I
And
do.
yep. And so I definitely would. I would try it and see. That's the only time that I heat the tallow, because the eggs soak it up and it doesn't feel like they're greasy or anything. The eggs soak it up nicely and it just incorporates into the egg and it's not greasy and it doesn't give me doesn't give me the runs. You know?
Yeah, I don't find tallow gives me the runs, which is unusual because butter does, or
Yeah.
you know, don't have a gallbladder either, so I'm kind of minus that. Plus the lap band, I'm a bit of a wreck.
I just
Um,
think that beef tallow must just absorb so much better in the body than butter. You know, I think it goes back to that unknown element of dairy that just can fight. You know, on paper it looks like it should work because it's just animal fat, but in reality, dairy just fights people. You know.
So if I say I have 3 hard-boiled eggs, how much extra tallow would you recommend?
Let me give you a little quick rundown side because I like this little app. It's called the Lose It app. It looks like a little scale, like a
Oh,
bathroom scale.
lose it.
Yep, lose it. And then, so let's see, I'm just going to put one large egg. So large egg. So I used the Kirkland one egg. Okay, so one egg has 5 grams of fat. And see, you're not losing any of this fat, so you don't have to do it. And it's got 6 grams protein, so it's about 1-to-1. So you're going to want to add 7 grams of tallow per egg. So if you have 3, you're going to want 21 grams of tallow, which is about almost 2 tablespoons, I believe. Because I think in 13 grams, 14 grams a tablespoon. Hold on. Do you guys do tablespoons there?
I can measure it out, not a problem. We've got scales
Okay.
and that.
21 grams.
Yeah, 21 grams for 3 eggs. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Let's see here. Somewhere in there, I know we got a lot of questions, but I was just going to answer this real quick because people are probably like, what the heck? Because somebody asked how many ounces of steak 70 grams is, and it's 14 ounces of steak is 70 grams. I don't want to push the line. I know when I get much over 70 at all, I go. So I've just been making it 60 grams. And then I try to eat 2 meals a day. That's where I'm struggling though. It's so satiating with all that fat that I did that yesterday morning, and I was like, and I just came off a whole bunch of fast, so my stomach acid was pretty low. But I couldn't eat the second meal yesterday. I was just so satiated. I was like, there wasn't an ounce of me that wanted to eat, and that's fine because it's summertime, and I have no appetite when it's hot. Like I never have an appetite when it's hot.
Interesting. Oh, we'll see how that goes this week. I'm scared my hair's going to start dropping again. Like I finally got that to stop adding the extra fat, but now I'm not eating anything at the moment. So I just don't want it to start falling out again. So I think eggs might be the way to go for me, right, for a week or so. See how that goes.
You still doing your egg custard?
I haven't been. No, I haven't been because I've been spending a lot of time with my daughter. I leave about 5 in the morning, so I don't want to wake my birds up. So I just leave the house, and then I pick her up and straight to the shop, and then I'm home about 8 or 9 at night. I don't eat much at the shop because I end up in the bathroom, and so I just fast usually, or try and have a few bites of something, but it's not enough to keep me going. Yeah, but I don't have the hunger either, which is But the good thing is I'm not going off carnivore. Like I'm still on plan.
Right.
I'm not tempted to eat anything. The girls have donuts and biscuits and lollies in the shop, and I'm just not tempted at all. I look at it as poison. Like it just doesn't do anything for me. So
Good.
yeah, I'd crave a big piece of steak, but I just can't physically eat it. Which it's just frustrating.
Exactly. Yeah, carnivore stark. That's exactly right. I think I try to hit at least 120 to 150 grams of protein a day, and I should be doing 200, but I'm going to wait till I'm a little bit more active because the problem is that's just so much food when you're doing a 2-to-1 fat ratio to try to get 300 to 400 grams of fat in talk about satiated. It's like, whoa, I can't I can't talk my brain into doing it right now. And so I could when I was priming, but now that I'm kind of, that nutrient deficiencies kind of, been filled, I don't have that in me right now. I'm going to go up to the starred comments here and we'll start taking some questions, but
Okay, starting carnivore tomorrow. I have prepped my food for Monday and Tuesday, so I'm more prepared. Wanted to know if you have any tips for a newbie. Oh, hi, welcome, Mincy. Just stay on track. If you
Yes.
do fall off, get straight back on the wagon. Don't let it spiral for till Monday or next week or the week
Yep.
after. Keep it simple. Just when you're hungry, eat meat.
Fill up right away.
Yeah.
Eat through the cravings, right?
Hmm.
The answer is always going to be to eat meat and fat. So until you get through all the cravings and the anxiety and just the noise in your head that just keeps you going and the depression, all those things that come with it, just you're going to go through some sugar withdrawals, but the answer is always to eat through it. If you want whatever your vice is, whatever that thing is that always throws you off, you're not going to want bacon, you're not going to want eggs, you're not going to want steak, you're not going to want hamburger, you're going to want that thing. But just go eat bacon and eggs or whatever until you're full, and that'll go away. And you just have to do that. You have to be diligent and do that for maybe 6 weeks even. But once you get through it, you'll be free. It's kind of like you're going to rehab.
This is exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to dry out.
Yep.
And you do it with food, because your body can't, your body's not going to scream as loud, and it's not going to be so overwhelming if you're stuffed, because you're going to hit those you're going to hit those stretch markers in your stomach. That's going to give you some relief. You're going to nourish the body. Your body's going to start to take that fat and protein. That's going to put it to work. And pretty soon you're going to get over those cravings, and then you're going to go the other way, because you're going to be over the cravings. You're going to have leptin sensitivity. Then you're going to have to fight to eat more food, because you're going to start under eating. But it's a process. But I would say be prepared, have all your, make the path of least resistance to your carnivore food, make it as hard as hell to get any of the bad food, any of your vices, get it out of the house, get it as far away from as you can, make it tough to get to. And then you got to stay in the carnivore community. You got to keep your mind on it. Don't let any day up to chance. You got to know you're in a battle, and you got to have a plan every day and be prepared, or else it's going to sneak up on you and you're going to make a bad decision because you weren't ready. So that's what I would say.
Could you guys interview Todd Begg? Do you know who Todd Begg is?
I don't know him. Does he have a YouTube channel?
Oh, he's the knife guy.
The knife guy?
Yeah.
Oh, from your cooking, the butcher guy?
Oh, that guy. I gotcha. Because he's the butcher block guy. Is that who it is? The bearded butcher or whatever?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. I saw he was on.
Is he actually carnivore?
Big knives, yeah.
I think he's getting there. I don't know. You'll have to pull it up. I don't know for sure who it is, but I don't know. We'll have to take a look, but very, very possibly I think that bearded butcher guy, or whatever his name was the one that just recently did his first carnivore butchering on the chuck or what was it, chuck roll. I think he showed how to break down a chuck roll. He was on Sean Baker, interviewed him like a week or so ago. So yeah, definitely, but we'll definitely check it out for sure and let you know. Let's see.
Hi, Sandra. I cheated last night and I planned it. Now dealing with the latest titanitis. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, especially it's awesome if you plan it, right? Because it's like, one, you learn from it, and two, it wasn't something that just overtook you, and so yeah, absolutely. I mean, I did a few of those things over Christmas with the dairy and stuff, and then it's like, well, I'm not doing that anymore. Swelled up like a water balloon with the dairy,
Yeah. It's a good thing to do occasionally. It just reminds you why you're on this way of eating, So I think it just makes you stronger. Now you know not to have whatever that was that gave you the issues. So stay away from that in future. So I think it's all learning. Definitely learning more about your body. So I take it as a win. Hi, Janet. If you can only eat 70 grams of protein per meal, how many meals a day do you have?
Generally 2. Generally 2 meals if I can get them in. That's what I shoot for because I'm already under eating at 2 meals because I'm fasting half of the week. So I really should be eating 4 meals a day. But I just don't have that in me. I've resolved myself to the fact that I might lose a little bit of muscle to lean down, and we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe I won't. Maybe my body will be so fat adapt, and I mean, God knows I have fuel to deal with here. I got plenty of fuel, so hopefully I won't lose much muscle. But if I do, that's fine. I want to get lean first, so I can get this skin off, and then I'm skilled at the art of eating a lot of protein. So I'm sure I can go back and put the protein back on and lift and get it back. But I just I want to, and it's not even about being so lean. I just can't seem to get enough food in. I can't eat 4 meals a day with that much fat. I don't have the appetite for that. And I love the fasting not for losing weight, but for the healing. Man, is it working on that lymphatic? I have kind of a lymphatic mass still left on my left leg. And man, that does so much work to that. I can just see it every time I do a fast. It just gets better and better and better. So I'm just loving the fast for the healing. So
Mm. Can you explain for the newbies as well? Because this is still something I struggle to get my head around. When you're talking about 70 grams of protein, I used to think that was a 70-gram piece of meat, but it's not. It's extra
no,
protein because it's meat and fat. So how much would 70 grams of protein be on a steak? Like if I had a 300-gram steak,
yeah.
ribeye, say, how much?
Let me break it down into grams because I think it's going to be so it's it's 5 grams per ounce, and an ounce is what, 24 grams. Hold on one second. Let me just make it easy, and I'm just going to go to the app, and I can do it that way because you're wanting a gram for gram. So let me go. Let me go ribeye. Let me go ribeye steak. 1 second. All right, so ribeye, and then I'm going to put it in grams instead of ounces, and I'm going to go, let's say 10 grams. That'll give me. Oh, well, that's interesting. So let's go 5 grams. Okay, let's go 4 grams. Let's go 3 grams. So there's almost a gram of protein per 3 grams of ribeye. So, and then there's also about there's about 0.3. There's about 1/10 of a gram of fat per gram of steak, if that makes sense. So of ribeye. This actually seems like a stupid ribeye. That's because this one's grilled. Yeah, never mind. It's a little bit different than that, but it's about 1/3 of a gram of protein per 1 gram of steak, if that's what you're wanting, or it's about 5 grams of protein per ounce of steak of ribeye, which is about 3 grams of after, because the cooked is so much different than the raw fat. They measure all this with raw fat, but unless you are scraping all the fat out of the pan and licking the pan, you're just
Yeah.
not getting it. And I don't know about you, but I don't do that. So I figure it at half that. So
Yeah.
um
That's why I don't like measuring. It's too complicated for me. I just eat it and
right.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, that's why it's so easy. I only have to have one matrix. I know now that I'm gonna have 12, no more than 14, but somewhere between 12 and 14 ounces of steak, full stop. And then for every ounce of steak, I'm going to add 7 ounces of tallow. Those are the only two numbers I need to know. I'm going to
Yeah.
have those two things. And so I bring out a steak, I weigh it. It's almost always over that because I cut huge steaks. So I'll cut it in half or whatever. I'll cook the whole thing, and then I'll cut it in half after it's cooked. And I weigh it, get it down to 14 ounces. And then I will go ahead and take 7 ounces, or sorry, get it down to 14-ounce steak, but then I measure out 7 grams per ounce, so 7 times 14 in tallow, and I put that in a bowl, put some hot sauce in it, mix it up, and I dip all that out of there with the steak, and I eat it. And that's as simple as it is. And yeah, it just works, you know. And then
Mm,
my eggs, I put as much tallow in my eggs as that it'll absorb, and I kind of have it down to where I know it'll absorb 4 to 5 ounces of tallow per 16 eggs, which I haven't actually made sure that that was right, but I'm sure that it's probably more than enough. But any more than that, and it's kind of dripping, you know. But
yeah.
I just like as much fat in my eggs that it'll absorb and, you know, and cook in. So I can get it to absorb 4 to 5 ounces, which is probably way over that ratio, to be honest with you. That's a lot of tallow.
Yeah. Interesting. Be interesting to see how I go by the end of the week with my eggs.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, and I'd love to see what happens to your energy too. I know mine went through the roof.
Yeah, yeah, I'm very flat right now, and I just feel I need something.
You'll feel better. Yep.
For
Mm,
sure. Chuck roast turned out delicious. I will show you guys after this live. I'll throw up a little vertical so you can see me because I'm going to eat it for dinner, and you can see what it looks like. But yeah, it's always fantastic. I mean, such a good meal. I love that meal.
Hi, Tamara. I've started having terrible gastro issues lately. I'm suspecting dairy, so I'm currently cutting that out to see if it helps. Yeah,
That's a good plan for sure. I
yeah.
Dairy doesn't do anything good for me at all.
Me, I love it, but yeah, it just flares up so many the edema back, and yes, it's a
For sure.
shame I love it so much.
I know. I mean, if I could, I would eat cheese all day long because I love
Yep.
cheese.
Yeah, for sure, but
Yeah.
suffers from it. Hi, Cranky Carnivore. I add ghee to my eggs. I like the flavor better. Unless I have ground beef with it, then I pour on all the tallow. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. I actually bought a 4 kilo tub of tallow, so it's huge. And I just have a little jar next to where I'm cooking. So I just scoop it out of that and then keep retopping up the jar. But I'm loving it. Mm.
Too. I gotta, I gotta, I got quite the stockpile of tallow now because I'm not gonna run short on that anymore because it's kind of been my key to. I don't know. It's my super juice right now. It's working pretty good.
Yeah. Do any of you struggle with fasting glucose? I'm still working on getting mine down. Type 2 diabetic, been keto since the end of December. Numbers have come down from 330s to 160s, but that's still too high.
I don't have
I
any of
don't.
those issues actually. If anything, I get low blood sugar actually because which not I mean it gets down to like 60s, you know, like 68, you know, 68 to 64. But I don't have, you know, I was only ever pre-diabetic and that went away within the first 3 months of carnivore. It was just gone, and my glucose has just been amazing, you know.
Yeah. We do our measurements different here. So our normal's between 4 and 8. So I don't know
Mm.
what is the equivalent to with you guys. But I had a CGM a couple of months ago and I had that on for 2 weeks and I was flatlining. Like my levels, I'd eat and still flatline, just the slightest little bump. And yeah, it was really good to see. But yeah, at night time, I'd actually drop into the 3.8, 3.9. So I was actually in the lows at night, which was interesting. But I felt fine. They said nothing to worry about. But yeah, I was type 2 diabetic too, and no longer. So all good. So to keep it up, December is still, yeah, still a few months. I think you'll be fine.
For sure. There we go.
Hi, Lindy. Do you notice more hunger in the colder weather? I did last autumn in the US. Um, no, I'm not hungry at the moment, but then I've got a lot of stress going on at this time. So I don't know whether that's it. I'm just feeling flash in general. I miss the summer. I really need the sunshine. I just feel I know my mum was the same way. She used to get into a real slump every winter. it was like, and as soon as the sun would come out, she would just blossom. And I just feel like that hasn't happened to me this year because of the summer hasn't really hit us. Now it's still cold. I'm still wearing jumpers, and so I don't know. I'm hoping it'll increase in Texas when I see the sun and have a lot more, hotter weather. But yeah, well, I don't know.
Right.
At this
How about
stage,
you, Michael? Do you eat more in the winter or the summer?
Usually.
Yeah, I do too. It's like
Appetite increases. Yep.
it does that. I'm in the Rocky Mountains. It gets cold here, and I always figured that's what it is. But yeah, I was trying to force fast all this winter, and my body wasn't having it. It was like, nope,
Yeah,
nope.
I'll never fast again in the wintertime.
No, I don't think it's worth it. And then like a switch. I'm not even kidding you. About 2 weeks ago, maybe three, it got to like 64 degrees outside. The time change happened, the sun's out, and like I woke up one day and it was like somebody turned a switch in my brain. I'm like, oh, this is how I feel when I'm losing weight. Like I knew. I was like, oh, well, we're in this mode now. We're in this summer mode where I'm just not gonna eat much and I'm gonna drop weight like crazy because I was stalled out all winter.
Mhm.
Like I was having composition changes, but like it didn't matter. I could eat 7,000 calories of meat a day, or I could eat, 1,500 to 2,000 calories of meat a day. I could fast. I could do whatever. I was doing line diet. My body didn't give a dang. It was just like we are staying right here. It would just fluctuate about 20 pounds up and down with fluid. It was just fluid, just
yeah,
fluctuate up and down about 20 pounds. And it was like, nope, we are hanging out right here. So, and now it's just, it just dumped. I mean, in the last, I don't know, 2 weeks. And now this was at the peak of my water retention. I was up 20 pounds in water retention. But in the last 2 weeks, I've dropped like, 48 pounds just on these fasts because my body's like, okay, we're finally in,
Dumping.
and yeah, we're finally in lose weight mode again. So I don't know. Our bodies are crazy. I can't wait when I get to heaven. I'm gonna be like, how does that damn thing down there work? I don't know what's going on with that thing. I could not put my head around that dang thing.
I've noticed the hair I'm losing is all the grey ones. Notice when I saw them alongside black armchair. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Are you fasting, Sandra? Because what's funny is that gray hair is a sign of a dormant protein cell that either dies. Usually, if it dies, the hair falls out. But if there's a dead protein hair follicle, it stops like moving and vibrating, and it's kind of like a tuning fork. And I read all about this once because I was trying to see if I was ever going to grow my hair back. So when you start seeing the pigment go and it turns gray, it's because if there's a protein molecule that dies, it stops vibrating. And these are like tuning forks where all of these protein modules need to vibrate back and forth. And so one dead one that's in there that doesn't get taken care of through autophagy, all the ones around it will stop vibrating. They're not dead, but they're dormant. And that's when your hair starts going gray. And so when you go through autophagy, your body goes in there and says, all you slackers not doing nothing out of the gene pool, pulls them out, gets rid of them, puts new ones back in, and then you start losing those gray hairs, but you get new ones, supposedly. I don't know that any of this is true. It's just something that I read, but that makes it interesting.
She said she's not fasting. Just in a
Well,
minute.
that blows my entire theory. I don't know. Maybe it still does the same thing. I mean, we all fast a little bit unless you're eating. If you ever go 13 hours without eating, you're fasting. So
Intermittent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I truly believe we're all aging backwards, so maybe it's time for those hairs to go and you'll grow some more coloured ones back. So yeah.
yeah, I'd love it. Look at all this gray hair. I gotta get rid of all of this stuff. Look at that. That can't happen. We can't have that. This is ridiculous. That's gotta go. You gotta get
What
rid of
happens
that.
when you get old, bud?
That's not fair. That's not fair. Also, somebody called Three Doors Down the other day, like the oldies, and I was like, "You shut your mouth with that stuff. Three Doors Down is not oldies."
Oh, I like Three Doors Down.
I know. It's like, what do you mean? It's just because your music sucks now doesn't mean Three Doors Down is old.
Hi, Cordelia. Todd, are we really having gluconeogenesis with the protein, or are we just absorbing the needed amino acids?
I think we are. I think we're having gluconeogenesis. And what's interesting is that I was talking to a guy because this made sense to me. Because one, I was taking a ridiculous amount of amino acids, so there's no excuse for that to be happening because I was supplementing the crap out of amino acids. But what made more sense to me, and I think this might be why some people are more vulnerable to it. I think if you have a compromised lymphatic system, you're more likely to have gluconeogenesis because you have a hard time being fat adapt because you have a breakdown in the lymphatic system, which transfers fat, right? So you can't access it as easy. And so I was talking to a guy and he made very much sense of what was happening to me. That's why I bumped up my fat to protein ratio. He's like, what I think happens to people is that when you first go on carnivore, you can get away with eating lower fat and a whole bunch of protein because the metabolic pathway in your body for gluconeogenesis is not very efficient. You got to rebuild it. Your body has to become adapt to gluconeogenesis too. So you kind of are trying to heal your lymphatic system and you're kind of healing your metabolic pathway for gluconeogenesis at the same time. The only thing is the lymphatic system is a much bigger issue to tackle. So the gluconeogenesis wins the race and it heals first. So all of a sudden, when you're eating too much protein, you start making glucose out of it quicker because you're not so fat adapt. So you're not. So basically, you're eating more protein because you're not getting the energy from the fat, and your body starts making the fat into glucose for the energy. And so I think that's what was happening to me because when I had my fat, I went from eating 4, 5 ribeyes a day to now I can hardly get down one, but I'm putting down a lot of fat and I feel a lot better. So that was for me was the trick. Now we're going to bring this up later, and then on an upcoming show, we're going to have a lymphedema specialist on, and she says that you should lower your fat if you're going to heal the lymphatic system and take exogenous ketones. And I'm like, yeah, crap, because high fat's really working good for me. But I'm definitely at some point after KetoCon or Hack Your Health, I'm going to give that a try for a period of time. My gut reaction is to say 90 days, but time I don't know. I'm gonna know after I talk to her, after we have her on the show. But she is great. If you guys haven't seen her interview yet with Adam at Carnivore Today, go check it out. Um, uh, what is her name? Leslie Keith, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Leslie Keith, I think.
Leslie.
Yeah, Leslin, maybe. Yeah, Leslin. Yeah, Keith. Go check that out because it was a fantastic interview. And as soon as we can work out the date, we're going to have her on because, I mean, we all three have massive lymphatic issues. And so
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that show. So,
Yeah. Hi, GLB. Just received my shipment of Wagyu beef tallow. What is your recommendation of first meal to use it on?
I think if you want to break yourself in on it, I would say eggs because it absorbs so nicely into eggs. It's really easy to get it down, and it is for me when I first started eating it, it was a texture thing, and also it kind of tasted like the packaging. It kind of was like a weird texture, had no taste. The only taste it picked up was the cardboard that it was in. I'm like, this is not great. But
Yeah.
yeah, when you put it in the eggs and you get it browned up, it tastes real good, especially with some salt. And then the other way I use it is cold mixed with Tabasco sauce, which you can have your own opinions on Tabasco. It works for me. I like the vinegar, but it gives it a great flavor. And then I just dip it into the cold towel because I don't want to put it on the hot steak because it just melts and then I got a grease mess. I'm not a fan of drinking my I like to dip it kind of like basically I make like an infuse. I don't know if you guys have ever made like an infused butter for steaks and stuff, but it's kind of like making that, but with tallow. Cranky had an amazing idea yesterday in my live, actually. Cranky Carnivore was like, what if you used the tallow for your horseradish? meat sauce, and I'm like,
Sure.
I don't know why I've been sleeping on that. Cranky, you're genius.
Yep.
Put horseradish in the tallow. And then, so I'm going to try that next time because I love me some horseradish, but I don't do it because I always wanted it in sour
And the
cream.
sour cream. Yep.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a game on for sure. I'm going to definitely be trying some.
That should be really good.
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
think it'll be bomb. So we're going to let you know
Yeah, test it out in Texas. I'd like to try.
for sure.
Mm.
Definitely will. Let's see.
Hi, Trina Ray and Lindy. That's huge to be going through such stress and not revert back to comfort emotional eating. Enjoy your win, even during the storm. I pray that your situation improves soon. Try sardines. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, no, it's weird how this is the time that I would normally be turning to carbs, and I'm just not even thinking about it. So my whole mentality towards food, that prison that I was in, that's all gone now. So it is a big win for sure. Yeah. So thank you for that. Now, I have tried sardines. I'm not a big fan of them unless I sort of saute them up a bit, and then I don't like them cold out of the tin. But yeah, I've had them a couple of times at my daughter's because it's a nice, quick, easy meal, and the cats are hovering, so they love it too. I end up giving them the sardines, and I just eat the eggs. So yeah, but they are a superfood. I should really try to eat a few more. But thanks, Trina.
I used to like sardines and eggs for some reason.
You still doing your cod liver?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't do it when I'm fasting or anything, but I
Right.
used to because of the fat. But yeah, I'm just doing it. I only do a couple cans a week now just to stay up with the omega-3s. But yeah, I really like it. I'm so used to it. It's not like I'm like, oh, these are tasty, but because it's
Right.
just got a texture issue. They're just mushy,
Right.
That's their only problem. But I like the texture and the taste of sardines. I used to love adding sardines to, especially if you blend them up. I used to add those to my gravy. It sounds crazy, but gravy gives sardines mixed like minced sardines gives gravy. It's kind of a thickener and it gives it a real rich kind of umami flavor. I used to like. So I should do that some more. I have to try that again. But that
Mm.
was back in my standard American. Every time I had a cold or something, I would try to make broth with fish sauce and sardines or in a gravy that was good. Just made my throat feel good.
Thank you, Estera. Yeah, she'll be fine. She had surgery last week, and the next 3 months is going to be difficult. They've refilled her eye with oil, so she can't see anything at all at the moment. Everything's still very fuzzy, and the other eye hemorrhaged a couple of weeks ago, so she can only see 3 centimeters in front of her face. So she is struggling, but we're positive, keeping positive. The surgery went well, but we won't know until for another 3 months whether she'll get much vision back. But yeah, we'll get there. Thank you. Lindy, could you do beef bone broth with butter or tallow to get a few more nutrients? I did have a beef broth this morning. I found a powdered one, which is all grass fed, and I've been having that, and I added some butter and a bit of salt. So that's what I had for breakfast, and then I'm going to follow that up with some eggs after this live stream. And I just think I'm going to do that for the next week. And it's extra collagen in this bone broth as well, which I thought was really cool because that's going to help my hair. So yeah, fingers crossed that all works. I'm so sorry if you and your daughters are going through a stressful time. I hope things get better soon. Yeah, my little one, 21-year-old, she's just had a couple of pains over the last few weeks, and I think she may have gallstones. So we're actually off to the doctors after this live stream to get that confirmed. But yeah, she's got describing similar pains to when I was 21. I had my gallbladder out, and so did my mum. And now she's just turned 21 last November. So I'm wondering if there's like a hereditary thing there. So it's been a tough few weeks.
Should be carnivore incentive
I know, right? Both of them. And yeah,
soon.
yeah, I'm hoping. I just joined your Facebook group, My Sisters Pending Approval. Okay, thank you. We'll love to have you in there. got bombarded this morning with people, so I'll go in and approve a few now. Maybe you could pop the link up there, Michael.
I am.
That'd be wonderful.
Michael, he's awesome. He's just so ahead of it.
Yeah, all approvals done, so hopefully you're in now. Hi, Sandra. I always thought my tinnitus was caused by my medication. So eating carbs and sugar causing it almost instantly was a huge wake-up call. Yeah.
So
Because
amazing.
people that have said that the diet has made a big difference to theirs as well. So
For sure.
do any of you, hi Scotty, do any of you eat tallow in solid form just to eat it? I have used it, just grabbed a spoon and tried it. It's growing on me, but I don't normally.
Yeah, I mean, I did that for a while, but it's just like, man, there's got to be something better. And so now I like it with Tabasco. I like it it's solid. It's a dip,
Yeah.
Like I'll mix it up and I keep it cool so it's solid. I put Tabasco in it, which I like it because that vinegar that's in the Tabasco really breaks down the fat a lot quicker. So when I eat it, it turns straight to energy. I can just feel it. And then I also take like the Malden flaky salt. And I like the little crunchies in there when I'm biting it, the little crunch. I mean, it just makes it like a fun dip, like a couple of different texture profiles and a couple flavor profiles. I like it, and I use it as a dip,
I love
keep
it
it.
as too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I take it when it's hard and I throw it right on top of my scrambled eggs and let it melt a little bit in there, and I mix it all up and I eat it just like that.
There you go.
Yeah. Lindy, we love you. Lean on us. Sometimes we need a big cry. It's healthy to express stress. Yeah, thank you, Sandra. The community's been awesome, and I definitely rely on you guys to get me through. So thank you. Oh, lamb chops. Yum.
It's about time. It's about time for some of those too here because somebody mentioned it last night and something kind of clicked in my brain. I was like, some of those lollipop lamb chops would be pretty good right about now. I love those. Gosh, those are so good.
So I do struggle with lamb chops, but my husband doesn't like the fatty bits. So I get to keep all those, and then I give him the actual bone with the meat because I find that's too dense for me. So it's like we're marriage made in heaven. I have the fatty bits, he can have the lamby bits, and everything's good. Works out well.
Get one of those lamb chop crowns, where they're all decorated, and then they give me crap, and they're like, "Oh, somebody must be having a party tonight." And I'm like, "Party of one." White size going down.
Enjoy your chops. Yeah. Dairy Queen. Hi from Illinois. Carnivore day 7 and going strong. Yay. I'm so happy. I feel like I was finally ready to commit to carnivore after trying and falling off for over a year. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome. Keep us posted. Stay in the community. Let us know how you're doing. If you need help, if you have questions, it's one of the most important parts.
Yep.
I'm hoping. Yeah, but this carnival gets sunburnt, so I'm going to have to, slip, slop, slap. Do you have that? Slip, slop, slap over there? Slip on a hat, slop on sunscreen, and slap on a hat. That's our little motto here in Australia.
No, I find I don't know what the equivalent of that would be for stay in the shade and find an air conditioner unit. That's my cure for that. We'll see. I'm trying real hard to get acclimated, right? Like right now, I wanted so badly to turn on this window shaker over here this morning because it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, I'm not turning it on because I need to get acclimated for Texas, or I'm just going to be a puddle. Everybody's just going to see a puddle floating around the ground with a hat on it. And that's going to be me in Texas. And I need to get acclimated. So I'm putting up with the heat and I'm trying to walk in the heat outside and, not be such a vampire. Some sun so that I can get acclimated because I do not want to be a miserable burnt strawberry in Texas. It's going to be rough.
We'll be fine. Anyone else going through hot flushes when in ketosis?
No, I mean, actually, what's weird when I'm in ketosis is I feel the heat, but I tolerate it so much better. When I'm in ketosis, like I used to be so fidgety and uncomfortable when I was hot, and now I can feel it, but it's fine. You know what I mean? Like I can still sleep in it and stuff. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, my temperature's up and down all the time. One minute I'm sweltering and then I have to strip everything off, and then the next minute I'm rugged up again. It's just very unpredictable. Right now I'm freezing, but if I put another blanket on or something, within 5 minutes I'll be stripping off. So
Right. Beth,
yeah.
Beth, this is making me want to cry. That is so bad. I mean, you don't get it. I don't go out into
Only
the
I'm just trying. What's that in Celsius? 90
yeah,
degrees.
when it hits like 90, you don't see me in it like out of the shade with a I mean, I got
he
some ice,
hides in the freezer, huh?
pretty much. Yeah, that's terrible. That's really terrible weather.
Hi, Missy. I've been having a lot of new hair growth and they're growing in thicker and stronger than the weak, thin hair I've been having the last few years. Oh, that sounds promising. Yeah, great. That's awesome.
It's amazing. It's amazing how healing carnivore is. The PhD,
Mm,
proper human diet.
I have read how hair follicles have a normal cycle of growth and dormancy. It has a lot to do with hormonal state and metabolic conditions. Mm,
Oh, there we
yeah,
go. I mean, I think we're all the poster child anymore for, a metabolic condition and a, absolute, dumpster fire of a hormonal state.
yeah. And restricted fat for the first year and a half of my journey because I was still under that mentality of,
Mhm.
fat makes you fat. So I still restricted. And I think that's what got me into trouble with a lot of things. So, yeah, definitely having a lot more now. So hopefully it'll come back. Hi, Ash. Have you guys heard about deuterium and what the deal is with that? I think Bart K has a video about it, but I haven't heard much about it. Like I don't know.
No idea what deuterium even is. What is that? I don't know. You guys know in the chat, you got me. That one's over my head. So many things to keep an eye on in that world, you know?
Hi, Glenda. I made brown butter bites for the first time. Yum.
Right?
Uh, have you actually made them, Tyler and Michael? Have you guys had them or?
Never had them.
I kind of made them because when I was browning butter for eggs and stuff, I was playing with it and I was like, "Oh, I get it. This smells sweet." So I just let it solidify, in the pan after. And then I kind of scooped it up and I took one. I didn't put it in the freezer or anything, but it got hard. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, that does kind of have a sweet caramelly, nutty flavor." I'm like, "Yeah, I could see that being a problem."
Yeah, that's why I haven't tried them. I'm just thinking I wouldn't be able to stop at one. I just want to eat
Right.
the whole thing.
Yeah, that does. It's just that little tiny bit of dairy sugar in there, that lactose milk sugar kind of
Mm,
caramelizes and it brings out that sweet caramely flavor. I'm like, yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty tasty.
We will have Emily make them in Texas for us just so we can try them because I won't make them at home.
Try a bona fide version.
Hi, starting carnivore in 2 weeks. Any advice? Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Just
Eat,
meat.
eat and get in
Stick
a
to it.
community. Yeah, eat, get in a
Yeah.
community, stick to it, make its path of least resistance, stay inundated in the carnivore community. And if you can swing the $30 a month, join the steak and butter gang, because I think that for any new person starting carnivore, I think it's just so helpful. I would try to make it work if you can. We get nothing for saying that. I just really think, if you are watch all these carnivore videos and our live streams, you're going to see the same bunch of questions getting asked over and over and over again. And that's why that group is so awesome. hundreds of people that have all been through it or are going through it, and that you can see the examples and you can see people that are encouraging you, that have broke through those walls, got over the hurdles, and then see their life transform in front of your very eyes. And it keeps you motivated, it keeps you focused. Because if you don't get focused and you start, you start losing focus on carnivore, then the old food sneaks back in. Because this standard American diet, ecosystem or whatever of food is just built against us, and we're inundated with it. And so if you're not making a plan every day and staying completely focused on carnivore, and you leave anything up to chance, I don't know, for me, I always would slip off when that happened. So
Yeah, well, I've been 2 years carnivore now, and I haven't been online as much, being with my daughters and that, and I feel it. I feel sort of away from the community, and that's when things start to come into your head, and you need that constant reminder, just why I'm doing this, listening to all those testimonials, all the positive stories, just keep you on track. And in my real life, there's not many carnivores. Like, my family's not carnivore. All the people that work in the shop, customers are coming, they're all sitting there eating donuts and this and this and that. And I know it's all bad for me. And they're telling me, well, just have one bite. You got to live a little. It's not going to hurt you. I'm like, that one bite, I don't want one bite. I want the whole donut. I want the whole box. Like, I can't stop. That's my issue. I can't moderate like you people. That's, I am living now. But when I'm in that carb sort of world, I'm not living. I will easily get up to 800 pounds again, and go back to my old eating ways, because I'm an addict. Or I don't know if I'm an addict now, like I can moderate, but the community does keep me on track when real life doesn't have those people around you. It's not very pleasant out there.
yeah, I mean, that's such a good point, and that's what I was having problem with before. Because if you aren't purposely seeking out a carnivore community, and you just get busy in your surrounding life, you're going to get inundated with all the
Mm,
people telling you, yeah, but what about what about cholesterol? What about this? You sure you don't? You could have a little bit of pizza. I mean, that's not going to kill you. Not one slice of pie. You can't have one slice all this
Yeah.
nonsense every day. Just
yeah,
pink,
that's
pink,
chip
pink.
away.
Yeah. And so, I mean, not to get, preachy on anybody, but that's the exact, you know, idea of church, why you go to church every Sunday, because you don't see that out in the world. So you need to be reminded what you believe in, and and I don't know, carnivore community is kind of like health church. You got to remember what we're doing, because everybody's trying to lie to us out there. We're under attack out there, we really
Yeah.
are, because I know the system's built against us to make us sick. It really is. The entire commercialized system and the reality that we live in every day is built against us. And that's why we have to, go stay focused, so stay encouraged.
Mm. Tallow is shelf stable as long as it doesn't have any moisture. Cool.
Awesome.
If it lasts long enough.
Yeah, right. Mine doesn't have to be shelf stable. It has to be week stable, because I go through those buckets fast now.
I do see.
Howdy, DC. We are doing awesome. Living the carnivore dream here.
Glenn, did you have a recipe for bone broth? I'll see if I can get the link. Actually, I'll post it on my channel a bit later. I've actually got a discount code now, so I haven't done anything about it, but I need to put that up. But it's, just a grass-fed bone broth powder, and I just add 2 to 3 tablespoons, or no, heaped teaspoons of that into my mug, bit of butter and salt and hot water, and it's really nice. And that's what I have every morning now. And it's got extra collagen in it as well, which is good for skin, and hair, nails, things like that. So I'll pop a link on my community page later today for you. Thanks, Lindy. Jen and Kerry sent me your Facebook group today too. Oh, great. We'll love to see you in there. It's a nice little community. Unfortunately, it's all just women only. Sorry, guys. And the boys, you can talk to them about setting up a group for you guys. But yeah, we do like ketovore, carnivore. We all support each other. It's very friendly community, and we're all there to help each other. So yeah, do join us if you need support. Jim Emmon was recommending a group, Lindy, but I don't do Facebook. Oh, that's okay.
She's very easy to get a hold of. She's all over.
I do a bit of Instagram and just YouTube. That's enough. Too many platforms to manage, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sardine dip is delicious mixed with cream cheese. Does sound delicious. I just don't do cream cheese. That's the dairy thing for me. But if you can do dairy, that sounds beautiful. So enjoy.
Does sound delicious. I'm sure
Yeah.
it is. One on keto, one of my favorite meals is I would take smoked salmon, I would take capers and lox, I'd take cream cheese, and I'd put pickled jalapenos on it, and I'd roll it up like a sushi roll and slice it. And oh my gosh, I used to love that. I would eat the heck out of that, but that dang cream cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legs flare up. Todd, there is no such thing as getting acclimated to Texas. Even us natives will get heat stroke sometimes.
You needed to lie to me, Miss. You're breaking my heart. You know that I wanted to believe I wasn't gonna have a heat stroke.
Oh,
All
you're going to
right.
have conditioning in the car, and then you just need to walk to the shops, and everything will be air conditioned, I'm sure.
Oh, well, you're gonna see. This is gonna be funny. I'm gonna be pulling my rental car up to the smoker. I'm gonna be flipping burgers out the window with the AC on, so I don't die. I'm gonna have to get like 5-foot long spatulas, like those pizza shovels.
Right.
I'll be flipping steaks with a long spatula. I'll have to take them and put them on a cutting board. Maybe I can get a cutting board on the passenger seat and put all the meat on it, and then I can go deliver it. I'm gonna be like the boy in the rental car AC bubble.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to hire one of those big RVs, and then we just cook inside. That'll be air conditioned.
Have you guys seen those bubble balls that you get in the big bubble ball and you're just your hands and your feet stick out and you walk around in them? Maybe I could get one of those full of like ice water or something instead of
Yeah, steaks.
exactly be my thermal suit. I have to have really long forks to flip in the steaks.
Pop you and you go flying.
Like,
Oh gosh.
Hotter here in Chicago.
yeah, I mean, all these numbers make me nervous though, because I also know it's a humid, sweltering butthole in Texas. That's the other problem. Where like here it's a dry heat, and I don't do good in an 80-degree dry heat. So 78 degrees now.
What's
Fun.
this?
90% humidity.
Yeah, it's yeah, man. Oof. I don't
How
know.
it is here.
I'm gonna get through it. Maybe we could do everything at night. Maybe we could just stay in the air conditioning in the day and go out at night. Nocturnal carnivores.
So is it actually hot at night time too? Because I don't mind if it's warm in the day as long as you have a cool night, because then you can sleep. Is it hot all the time?
I'll let Missy and them answer, but I'm thinking Missy and Beth would know best, but I'm sure it ain't pretty at night. I'm sure it's gonna be rough. Now the Airbnb is supposed to have good air conditioning, but I said I shall be the judge of that, lady, because
Are they in all the bedrooms though, or is it just in the main living room? Because I bags the couch if it's
oh yeah, no, I hear you. I think so. I hope so. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I hope it's everywhere. I mean, I hope it's everywhere.
hot at night too. We need those hot water bottles that we can fill up with cold water and ice cubes, and we can take those to bed, I guess.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna just I don't know. They do make those AC blankets that pump frigid air under the covers. Might have to go get one of those at a Kohl's or something there.
Sweating is good to learn. We still don't know what deuterium is, so we might have to look into that one.
Yeah, that's twice today. Somebody tell us what deuterium is and if I
Yeah.
have one.
Oh, here we go. Deuterium is one of two stable isotopes of hydrogen. The deuterium nucleus is called you can read that. I'm struggling.
It's called a deuterion. Contains one protein and one neutron, where the far more common what is that, protium, has no neutron in the nucleus.
So
All
in
right.
term, what's that? What
Right. So I appreciate that. But what does that mean? What does that mean for me?
yeah.
Yeah. But I will, I don't know. I am going to look it up after this and another thing to get boned up on. And I'll be like, hey, I'll be what is that called? Nutrium. Uh, I don't know. Maybe we'll have episodes. I don't know. I just haven't decided if it's, I don't know if it's important yet, but it sounds like it because it's come up twice.
I think Harry Sopanos and Buck Hay do a video on it. Harry Sopano, something?
I posted a Dr. Chafee video about it.
Oh, okay.
That and ketosis. So
All right. It's homework for later, guys. Hi, IQ. Does it make a difference where the beef fat is trimmed from? Where I got it only had prime Wagyu beef, which made me think this is higher quality beef trimming.
I mean, I don't know. Is Wagyu higher quality beef trimming? What I hear is that Wagyu steak is fed beer and massaged. I don't know if it's true,
they
but
say, yeah.
I think they say Japanese Wagyu is fed beer and hops and barley or something like that, and is kind of doesn't move and is massaged. They want to keep it. So maybe from what I hear, the best beef trimmings you can get is actually from old cows. They say the older the
Aged.
cow is aged, like instead of having, these young, like 3 to 4 year, um, or I don't even know if they're that long. Maybe they're only 2 to 3 year, I don't know, 2 to 3 or 4 year, however long, wherever that age is, they butcher them. The older ones, like in the, 8, 9, 10, even teens, they say has totally different taste than that. It has some high quality fat in it. So I don't know. I've never really dug into that too much. I know that grass-fed, grass-finished tallow tastes like sagebrush and antelope buttholes. So I don't think that's I don't like that. It's so gamey. Anybody that's ever had antelope that eats sagebrush, is pretty gross. It is the most gamey, skunky, weed flavored junk, and that's what that's what the grass-fed tallow tastes like to me.
Hi, Michelle. On Monday 7, so much information out there. I can't get down enough butter. Any suggestions? Enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Oh, you can't get down
Get
like
it down, right?
yeah, can't get it down, or you can't stop eating butter, right? I
Oh,
think
I got it. Okay. I read
yeah.
Miss Restaurant, I think.
No,
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking there too. It's like I used to think things like meat aversion wouldn't last. First of all, the dairy does help you at first get through any kind of aversions or having a hard time getting enough fat because it opens up your appetite like crazy. The dairy does. So, or at least for me, it did, and I hear it does that for a lot of people. So maybe add dairy in for a while till you get that stuff down. Don't worry about the weight, but also, I just noticed that I just have to keep working on it, and then your body goes, "Oh, I really need this," and then all of a sudden your appetite opens up.
Mm. And I'll talk about this little drink that Meat and Marriage Annalise has given me the recipe for. She calls it like a carnivore colada or an egg colada. So we use 4 to 6 egg yolks only, and one large heaped tablespoon of tallow and 1 tablespoon of butter, and then add hot water and blitz it up in a NutriBullet or something, and then throw it in the fridge overnight. And the next morning it's really chilled and it tastes like a custardy sort of flavor. So it's full of fat, and I'm really enjoying those at the moment. Very, very easy to do. Just takes you like 2 minutes before bed, in the fridge, and then in the morning down the hatch. Really, really nice. Good way to get some fat in if you're having troubles getting fat in, and it's delicious. She also puts sometimes a little bit of cinnamon, just a shake of cinnamon or vanilla bean paste. Tiniest drop. You don't need a lot. If you want to do that, you can, if you like the sweetness, but it's like custardy sort of texture. It's beautiful.
Sounds good. Sounds really good.
Yeah, we're trying to do a video as soon as I can get some time to sit down and film a video together making it. So
That's awesome.
watch out for that. Did any of you guys get Metaversion 2 months in? Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, I get Metaversion quite often, and I just have to change the cut of meat that I'm having or cook it differently. So just the way you prepare it. I do a lot of slow cooked meats now and have a lot of broth to go with it. And I find that's sort of gets me past the steak. I can't sit down and have a whole steak. So having things done in the slow cooker is a game changer for me.
I got meat aversion, but I got ground beef aversion.
Yeah.
Like when I was first doing it, ground beef was so dry, but I wasn't adding tallow and I wasn't doing a lot of things. I was just putting ground beef in a pan and eating it. And it was dry, like you could do that a couple of days in a row, but you do that for like a week and you're just like, what am I doing with my life type of thing? It's not tasty.
Just keep mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah. But then when
I
I
do.
started adding in bacon and eggs, that would mix it up. And then I would add, ground beef and eggs, steak and eggs once you move it around. And then even then, sometimes you can get some palate fatigue. I don't know that I call it aversion so much, but palate fatigue for me. The sure way to cure palate fatigue is a fast. You don't eat
You'll be happy to get anything in your mouth afterwards.
Yeah, you'll be over that in a hurry. So that's what I always think, anyways.
Yeah. The Bearded Butchers have a whole long form video on the difference between Wagyu grass fed and grain fed. Okay.
There you
go. I freeze small squares of butter with salt on it, small enough to swallow whole if I need to. Yeah. Again, I wouldn't be able to stop at one. I just want to keep like candy. I'd be scared of that.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't mind them, and I think probably we're fine, but I totally get it. I get to the point where, well, I mean, I'm having a hard time eating enough right now, fat, so, or because I get so satiated on it, so I don't know. I just haven't put it into my repertoire.
Yeah, I don't like to snack. I just like to have, if I'm going to eat, I have a meal and then that's it until the next meal. So if I start the snacking thing, I think I'll fall into bad habits and want snacks all the time. So I guess that's why I don't do any of those recipes.
I bet you're right, Susan. I bet it is where they graze. Because yeah, if they're out in the dry sage and stuff, oh good Lord, that's a rough one.
I posted the Bearded Butchers video on that.
Oh, nice.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Get some frog neck collars. They get cold. You wrap them around your neck and it helps keep your body temperature down. Oh, okay.
How many does it take to cover a 200 or 460 pound person? Asking for a friend.
Is that like turtleneck? I think we call them turtleneck collars. So like really high jumpers. Is that what?
No, I kind of like that. I think they're talking about basically a cold pack that wraps around your neck, because the idea is we do that in construction. We have these rags that you put in water and they're built to let water evaporate, and you wrap them around your neck, and the evaporation cools down your neck, which cools down the blood going through your arteries here, which cools down like your brain and, cools down your body pretty good. If you can just cool the blood right here cycling through, it helps it cool. So on hot days, guys have these. They're special kind of use. It's weird. You dunk them, and they're like 2-foot rags that you wrap around your neck. But when you snap them like this and you pull them tight, for whatever reason, it causes them to instantly evaporate water, and they get real cold. And you put them around your neck, so that makes sense. And we do that here in the Rocky Mountains at 6,000 feet. So I can't imagine what you people do in Texas. You should walk around with igloo ice packs and things.
Retired dairy cow butcher was a good place years ago on the Oregon coast. No steaks, just hamburger and roast. You cook for a long time.
That was good. I hear they have a much different taste, that's pretty tasty, which makes sense. What's funny is the tougher meats, I think, are always the most flavorful. That's why I don't like filet. Like, yeah, filet, the texture is great, but they're expensive and they don't taste like anything, but
There's no fat on them.
no, it's just, they're kind of like meh,
Yeah. Hi, Laura. Have you tried making ground beef jerky? Look up some recipes. It can give you something different if you're going through an aversion stage. Yeah, I did try some. I actually borrowed my daughter's dehydrator and made a batch, and they were lovely, but it's just too much effort for me.
they look good.
I'm a lazy chef. I just quick and easy, and it isn't too bad to make it, but then you've got to wait 7-8 hours for the dehydrator, and yeah, I haven't got time for that. So that, for me, it didn't work, but it was yummy while it lasted. So
It's good.
Well, I can't wait for the answer, but I overcame meat aversion and the cooking smells by letting Burger King cook my meat. I buy 3 pans of meat and chill them. I eat them cold out of the fridge.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Greetings from Alberta, Canada. My lab work came out perfect. I'm 7 months into Carnivore. So happy. Yay.
Congratulations. That's what we need to hear, those reports, so we can shut up all the crazy people that are like, what about your heart? How is it still pumping?
I don't know how none of us are alive.
Right.
Totally off subject. Is anyone planning to visit Joe Rogan Mothership for comedy relief while in Austin?
It like every night and twice on Sunday. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, now that I know who Joe Rogan is,
For
I might
sure.
hear it.
Yes,
Yeah, we
definitely.
do.
Yeah, we are definitely going to the mothership. That's my mothership. That's where I want to go there so bad. Let's see here.
Eggs and bacon don't bother me, but cooking beef is making me sick. I don't understand. I'm letting Burger King do the cooking for me. Just do what works for you right now. And, you never know. Our tastes sort of change over time. You may come to like, your own beef later, but eggs and bacon's fine. Burger King.
Just do yourself a little favor, though, and ask them if they use seed oils to cook those patties. That's
Burger King grills them.
They do, I know, but I'm just wondering. I'd be. They still put seed oils in there because it makes them a little bit hyper palatable. So I'd just be careful. But you don't have to be perfect. It's that's a great start, if nothing else, to get you over and get things working. So I just was curious when you said that. I'm always hesitant to get but I know. I mean, even Jeff DeProsperous says that McDonald's actually has good beef, and Jeff DeProsperous gets McDonald's patties, so it's probably just fine. It always makes me worried,
Yeah, I actually watched a Paul Saladino video about McDonald's. He did a big write-up or like a video on all the different products, and he said the beef patties are fine. It's all the stuff that goes with it, and they're just grilled on in their own fat, basically.
Yeah.
So
I heard that too. So that's awesome.
I'm thinking Kerry's idea of slow cooking meat stew may help me. I cannot cook beef right now. Yeah.
That's what I do. Well,
for sure.
I buy either like a lamb shoulder or even a brisket, and I throw it in the oven. I cook it for about an hour, and then I throw it in the slow cooker with heaps of water and let that cook for another 3 to 4 hours. So you get sort of the crunchy, crispy outside, and then you've got all the soup and it's just pull apart tender. And I fill up my mug with the broth and then have a bit of the pull apart meat. And that's how I get past my meat aversion. And especially with winter coming up, it's a beautiful comfort food for me.
Yep. I got I take chuck roast. Well, in fact, you could watch it last night. So a little vertical live I did on my channel. I seared a chuck roast, put it in the slow cooker, slow cooked it overnight, and I'm gonna be eating some more of that right after this show, actually. But I love it. Yeah, it's like pull apart tender, or you can slice it up like roast beef. And I do it with kettle and fire beef broth, a little bit of xanthan gum and salt, and it makes just a rich brown gravy. It's awesome. It's really good to get over meat aversion for sure.
Dehydrate meat on a cookie sheet in your oven on low overnight while you're snoozing.
There you go.
I am really lazy, Laura. You don't know me. When it comes to cooking, I don't like the kitchen anymore. So, yeah. Sorry.
I like it actually a little bit more now because I have a purpose in there. Like it's fun to figure out something that might be interesting. Like I was just thinking, I've been having a hankering for chicken strips, which is really funny. You know, something with a crunch on it.
Right.
But I don't eat chicken because they give my dog right there seizures because the chickens are Franken chickens. But what I was thinking is I think I'm gonna use pork tenderloin because they're very similar to chicken texture. And I'll probably tenderize it, pound it out and make chicken strips or pork strips out of it. And then I just ordered a bunch of those pork rind panko,
Mm-hmm.
I ordered 3 different kinds because I don't know which ones are clean or not. So I figure it's a crapshoot. I'm gonna see what's on the ingredients because I couldn't see them online. So I just ordered one box of 3 different kinds. But when it gets here, I think I'm gonna do an egg batter, pork panko. I might get a little bit cheaty there and add a little bit of Parmesan cheese, because Parmesan cheese helps that crust really set in. So I might do a little bit of Parmesan cheese with the pork panko, but then fry it up in tallow and then dip it in some Tabasco and tallow, like a hot wing sauce. And I feel like that's going to taste pretty good. And I don't think it could be really bad, but for some reason I've had that in my head for a while. It's like, that might be fun, but I guess we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But because I don't know why, but I just start craving something with a crunch. I'm like, this is weird. Maybe I'll just have to make Michaela's crunchy things too.
Nice. Hi, Susan. I just bought beef fat trimmings. I'm going to try cutting it into chunks, cooking it in the air fryer, and then pouring this method, the melted part, into small containers in fridge. So I have some pure beef tallow also. Nice.
There we go. That sounds good.
Cooking in the air fryer has helped me get over the meat aversion as there is hardly any cleanup. Yeah,
Sure.
it's been a game changer for us. I love the air fryer.
Me too. Man, I use that thing all the time. Just used it last night to make some steak.
I have to rely on Wendy's and McDonald's patties. Yeah.
There you go.
Burger King. Okay. Yeah.
There you go. That's good to know for sure. I'm getting fast food options now.
I don't think we've got Burger King here. I know we've got McDonald's, and I don't even think we've got Wendy's anymore because I haven't seen them. Yeah. At the mothership, and mention your party at Carnivore, etc. Mate. Yeah, we're trying. We're working on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up with something. I'm gonna figure out a funny shirt or something to wear. Yeah, give me some time, but I'm gonna get yeah, we gotta get on the radar.
Put your face on your shirt.
Have you seen those? I'm not gonna use this one because it's too overdone, but I do love the shirt. Have you seen the shirt that says ask me about my like secret ninja costume or something? Have you seen that one?
No.
Yeah, look that one up. You guys will get a laugh, but something similar to that, but well, not similar, but something eye-catching because I do love that shirt. I got to get one of those shirts.
Fast food meat is misleading. 100% beef, which is true, except the patty is not just beef, it's the other stuff they put on top. Preservatives, artificial flavoring that make them lower quality.
Yep.
Makes sense. You know, I don't know. I just stay away from it. I just don't trust them, right? Like Dr. Berg was doing a video on Bill Gates's apples, right? And he was reading through and he goes, man, you look through all these papers and everything sounds right. And it sounds really good. And it sounds like, oh, there really isn't any problems with these apples. He said, but then there's just one tiny out of this, all these studies on them.
I've seen
There's
it.
just one little sentence that says that 94% of the apple is protected under copyright laws under other natural flavors.
Right.
So all the studies that he was reading and that they're judging this apples off of represent 6% of the apple. The other 94% of the apple is completely unknown origin. Nobody knows what's in it because it's protected under other natural flavors.
Right.
So it's just this big smoke and mirrors game to play where they can go, which is, it sounds a lot like what he's talking about here. Yeah, the meat's all beef, but that's not all that's in the patty. They're just assuming, that the patty's all meat. Well, that's these games that they play, and I just don't trust them. I mean, for crying out loud, shredded cheese has seed oil in it to keep it from clumping. There's just no way that McDonald's and Burger King's stuff does not have crap in it. There's just no way. I just don't believe it. There's no way. They turned it into a commodity. They have to ship it all around the world. It's got to have a shelf life. Like, there's just no way there's not junk in it. I just don't believe it, So, but after saying that, it's better than eating the standard American diet. So definitely do that if that's your only option. I'm not saying not to do that either, because it's the lesser of two evils by far. And you got to make what works for you work, and then maybe you can start meal prepping or something later, but do what works for you.
Have you guys tried the crispy bits that Michaela Peterson talks about? They look tasty.
I just was saying that I haven't tried them yet, but I should, because I made air fryer dehydrated ribeye beef jerky. Just similar to those things, but I haven't made the full on crispy bits. And what I would love to do is I feel like if a guy took those out and put them in like melted tallow and put them back in a couple of times to really get like a fry on the outside, I think that might be really tasty.
Coming cooking video, maybe?
Could be. Definitely try it out for sure.
Todd, have you looked up Chris Cooking Nashville? He has experimented with a lot of different recipes to make them carnivore.
I do. I watch him and I love watching his videos. And every time I watch one, I go, yeah, I'm not doing that. So much that goes into his stuff. Like, he's a mad scientist, but what I like to do cooking videos on is fairly simple things. He does some crazy stuff. Like, he's always got like egg protein powder and some sort of, thing. And I bet they're fantastic. And I think the guy is amazing, but his videos look like every dinner takes 2.5 hours to make type
Too much
of thing.
work.
Yeah. And I'm like, I would start hating cooking if I did that. But I think the guy's awesome. And if you have that much of a love for cooking and you have that much that you want to put into it, I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, I made ribeye jerky. Coach Raymond made ribeye jerky, so we all tried it out, and it was pretty good. But when I get back from Hacking Your Health, I got too much going on, but I want to start playing around with sausage and jerky when I get back from Austin. So stay tuned, because I think that's going to be fun, because I really do. One of my favorite meats was always like andouille sausage and stuff, but I need to find a healthy way to make it. So I'm going to play with that a little bit, because it might just be, marinating a couple of different kinds of meat, pork, beef, and a little bit of Tabasco or something, or pickled jalapeno, something that I'm already doing that I don't have a bad reaction to, and play with it. So
I have pork tenderloin pretty much daily. I have made crisps, jerky, and chopped it up, cooked stove top. it's really a staple for me. Nice.
Sounds really good.
Mm.
I bet it's got to taste pretty close to chicken if you dipped it in buffalo sauce, like a homemade buffalo.
It does.
Yep, I heard that too, the Buffalo Wild Wings. Problem is they got chicken there. It's not the fat that I won't eat at Buffalo Wild Wings, it's the dang chicken. The chickens are Franken chickens. But yeah, I hear that too. So that's a good option for anybody that can tolerate the new Franken chickens, or I shouldn't say new, but the Franken chickens.
Mm. Ask yourself why McDonald's burgers never go off or grow mold.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, yeah, those aren't natural. I mean, I put meat in my fridge for 5 days and it starts smelling funky, package gets all bloated, and meanwhile, a Big Mac can sit around for like
Leave it
6
out.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sitting on your counter and nothing happens to it.
Yep.
You seeing everybody talking about the ice cream now? How the ice cream doesn't melt.
I have heard that. Yeah.
They have the ice cream cones, the ice cream sundaes.
Right.
Yeah.
And they also said that's what breaks the ice cream machine at McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, okay. I haven't had any of that, but I know the ice cream machines are always broken because my daughter used to work at Macca's and she's always, the machine's broken again, and everyone's, on a really hot day.
Yeah.
Everyone's complaining about it.
Right. Well, have you seen those videos when they go and clean out the ice cream machines and the mold?
Disgusting.
I mean, it's so gross.
And
like
one of the worst things at a fast food place is the ice machine.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do it ever.
Nope.
Like, just make your own food.
Yeah.
Jungle out there. Joseph Funk, I appreciate that. That's weird. I don't know why you wouldn't have got it, but definitely keep us posted if that's happening to anybody else. I don't know what we can do about it, but
YouTube,
yep.
I just bought the beef flour from Carnivore Crisps. I'm planning to experiment with it, and ground beef, or also ground chicken and eggs to create carnivore cracker. Yeah, nice.
I didn't know the beef flour was a thing, but now I'm going to look into it because
Nisha Berry uses it a lot. I think she does like nuggets as well, and she coats them in the beef flour, and there's different types.
Yeah, because Ken Berry is always bragging about Nisha's chicken nuggets.
Yeah, apparently she dips them in that with eggs, so for her kids.
That sounds good.
But I don't think they deliver to Australia, so I've never looked into it.
Am I the only one in here who isn't carnivore? I don't know, probably close to it, but you're definitely welcome. Welcome to the channel.
Many of the OG carnivores use the fast food burger patties. I've never had any issues. Yeah.
Like I said, I like that, saying don't let perfect be the enemy of good, or progress. It's better than eating all the sugar and the carbs and the stuff that's just going to freak out your insulin. We got to get off that roller coaster.
Suddenly, after 11 weeks on carnivore, I have an appetite for some reason.
That's awesome. That's exactly what happens. You start getting that appetite, and that's when you're going to start healing. When you start and lean into that, eat it all. Eat all the carnivore food. Eat the fat. Eat the meat. Get it in there until you heal up. Even if you gain a little weight, you're going to heal up. You're going to see things start to get way better. So that's good. That's real good.
Hi, Linda. My favorite cheese is green chili casserole. I figured a good milk substitute, so the cheese is left. Any ideas for the corn tortillas?
Pork rinds, I guess, but I mean, I say that very hesitantly because I don't know if you guys have ever had a wet pork rind, but it is not a pleasant experience. So I don't know. That's why I'm so hesitant to see what a panko pork rind is going to taste like, because I used to try to make like nachos when I was on keto out of pork rinds, and when they get wet, they turn into like
Mush.
chewy, squishy, like collagen, like tastes like skin again.
Mm-hmm.
Not it's not great texture for those at all. They definitely have to stay crunchy. So, but I don't know. I mean, obviously, if that beef flour is a thing, that you could make some crunchy tortillas out of that for sure. That'd
Mm.
be fun to see.
So the tenderloin tastes good with the buffalo sauce. I typically have a sauce of vinegar with a touch of ghee. Delish.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah, well, I'll be joining you on that one because that does sound really good. And I don't know why I'm having a craving for that, but I'm definitely going to lean into that.
I think we just had that one about the
Oh, did we?
tortillas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we catch up?
I think so.
We go
Wow.
through. Oh, here we go. That's a good one. Pork King, good head. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna look those up. I got pork panko, pork. I don't know. I forget what they are now. I'll show them. They're gonna be here next week, and I'll put them on camera. But I just got 3 that said they're all. It always bugs me when they go gluten free. I'm like, shut up! It's pigskin. It better be gluten free. If it's not, you guys are assholes.
Putting something in it. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I hate it when they say stupid stuff like that because it makes me think it's all marketing nonsense. Uh, so that's why I bought 3 of them, but because they all had the keto label on it and keto friendly, all natural, and it was just too much nonsense. It's like what I would love to see a label just say just pork fried in pork,
Right.
pork skin fried in pork fat. Like, why don't they do that? Maybe salt, whatever.
Yeah.
But instead they got to get all, tight, put all the bull crap on them.
Advertising. Yep.
Bella uses carnivore flour in her pizza crust.
It's
Nice.
awesome. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Ooh, they also have clean seasonings. I'm gonna definitely look that up. Pork King. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look that up. That'd be good. All right. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Yep, correct. Progress, not perfection.
Susan, 10 months on carnivore, 5 years on keto. It's good.
That's awesome, Susan. Congratulations. How you feeling? You feeling good? Yeah, I mean, it gets better. You got to have good knives and a good setup and counter space and all that to deal with big pieces of meat like that. It's rough. And I have all those things and I was still having it because I wasn't taking the fat off of my brisket last night. I wasn't trimming the fat. Makes it hard to see the fat vein, and because I've never left all the fat on before. I was making it hard to see the fat vein between the point and the flat. And I was like, this is why we trim the fat so I can find this dang vein. But I don't know. But yeah, it's a lot of work. It really is gives you way more appreciation for your butcher, but it does get better if you got to have good counter space, good cutting board, good sharp knives. It helps. Not alternate day anymore. I do 84 hours eating and 84 hours fasting. How about you guys?
Yeah, I don't really do much fasting. Just it's kind of intermittent fasting. Just I eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm not, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm actually doing a bit of a prime now. But yeah, I might try and do some fasting maybe after Texas. But at the moment, I'm going through a lot, so I don't think fasting's good for me right now.
Right. I want to start getting back into it soon.
Whoa, what did I hit? There we go.
Sam's Club pork rinds, 1 pound jug for $6.98, cooked in pork fat, lightly salted, as Susan said. Just throw in some so many processor and tada. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like, I've only found the one pork rind here in Australia that doesn't have any crap in it. It's so expensive. So I don't do anything with it's just gonna cost too much by the time you process it all up and
Yeah.
very expensive meal. Courtney Luna did a video on making tortillas out of pork rinds. Okay.
I bet, yeah, I bet they're good if you keep them crunchy. That's just my question. You guys maybe could answer that in the chat. When you use the pork panko and stuff and you fry it up, for a breading, does it get mushy at all? Like if you put it in dip or something, does it get mushy pretty quick? Not much, Rustler. We're just hanging out, chit chatting. How was work?
I think Emily was going to look for some of those egg life wraps and just sort of fry those a little bit. I don't know whether she uses tallow or butter or something just to crisp them up. I wonder whether that would work. I haven't heard back from her because she was having trouble finding them.
Yeah.
But,
I tried them. I wasn't really crazy about them.
Yeah, okay.
Estra, we're streaming to 3 different channels, so you're only going to see on your end the chat that's in the channel that you're on. Yeah, so you'd have to go to all 3 of our channels to see all the chat messages.
2 Crazy Ketos of a how-to video on making your own beef or chicken flour at home. That's cost effective. Okay.
It's interesting.
I bought a Cuisinart electric knife to help cut hunks of meat into steaks or slice of roast beef. Nice.
That's awesome. Does it work pretty good?
I just get mine all cut from the butcher. That's how lazy I am. I've been trying to eat more priming this week because of stall, mostly carnivore with a little ketovore. I've lost almost 2 pounds, going to prime a few more days. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think so. I know you've lost a lot of weight, and I lost a lot of weight, and then I stalled, and I don't really think there's anything I can do about it. I think your body wants to. I think Ken Berry told me that when you lose that much weight, your body just wants to kind of stabilize before it loses more, because it doesn't just want to do a nosedive until you have no body fat. This is the ideology that everybody gets in their head from the dieting, ideology, where you got to lose weight to be healthy, is that we think that the weight, is the cause of poor health. And it's actually a parallel symptom. So we equate losing the weight with being healthy. Our body doesn't. Our body's like, no. That weight is where we store toxins and oxalates and the stuff that's trying to kill you. And it's also what gets you through a famine and a bad winter. Like, our body doesn't look at the fat as the problem,
Right.
And so it'll get rid of it when it decides that you don't need it anymore because you got satiated and healthy in it, and also that your immune system's strong enough to handle it. It seems like that when you get healthier, your body will go in there and fight those toxins and oxalate them. But we sit here and go, no, don't you know we need to lose weight to be healthy? And our body's like, no, you don't. And Ken Berry made a good point. He's like, you lost 270 pounds. Your body, you lost a very, very giant person. Like, can't keep doing this. So it kind of stabilizes for a while, relaxes. And then when everything metabolically kind of levels out again, then it'll let you do it again, but it just comes in waves,
Yeah.
So eat. I think if your body's worried about not having enough nutrients and have lost too much weight, probably a good thing to show it is that you have plenty of nutrients,
Right. There's food available.
Yeah.
Why do you think some people are moderators versus some are abstainers? I always wonder if there's a common trait between moderators, maybe something behavioral or psychologically related. I definitely go, Todd.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I think for sure, for me, and I feel like this is probably, I think it's a hormone imbalance, right? I really do. I think I used to think that I couldn't moderate And maybe, I mean, I think it's a couple things, but I used to think I couldn't moderate anything because I hadn't been successful, but I also didn't realize that it was really the anxiety that was making me super compulsive and making me have a very addictive personality. When I got free from all that, I don't have those problems anymore. And so I was pleasantly surprised to find, like, let's say cheese and stuff, I can moderate it if I want to. Like I can eat it and I like it and it tastes great, but I can stop it at any time. And now I don't have to. I don't, I'm not ruled by any of those things. And that goes for absolutely everything, even out, even from, gambling, nicotine, caffeine, all that stuff. It just doesn't have that hold on me anymore. And I really think it boils down to what you're trying to moderate. Like, I mean, does anybody moderate like crack? Has anybody been successful moderating crack? I don't think they are. So just because I say I can now moderate, I don't mean I can moderate sugar. Because if I mess with sugar for a long time, I'm going to be back on that insulin roller coaster. It's going to cause all the same problems that make me have anxiety, which is going to make me compulsive and addictive again. And I'm going to be right down that road again. So no, I can't moderate sugar, and I don't think anybody is meant to moderate sugar. But also, wasn't able to moderate anything before, and now I can. So I really think there's just things you shouldn't try to moderate because they're just too addictive and they're not healthy for you anyhow. And you have no business trying to moderate them. And I think if you get rid of all those things and you get healthy, then I think you can moderate the healthy things. Even things like dairy and stuff that you might be tempted. What do you think, Lindy?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. I do think it's something hormonal, something an imbalance somewhere. Because for 50 years, I didn't know how to moderate. I couldn't moderate. I tried. I didn't have that off switch that I have now. I didn't even know it existed. And I always wondered, how can other people just stop at one biscuit or not be constantly thinking about food? Like I'd eat something and then I'm wondering where my next meal was going to come from. I never had that off switch. And now all of a sudden, in the last 2 years, that's gone. What's changed? My diet. So something I was eating was either triggering it or my hormonal imbalance, which is now back on track. But I felt like a failure all these years. And even this lap band surgery was going to cure me. That was going to be the fix. That's what my doctor told me. And I failed that too. It's like, how much of a failure can one person be? And it's not me. There was a show last night. I think I sent you guys a link, but it was only a part of the show, and it was all about Ozempic. And they had people there on Ozempic saying that all the food noises are gone. They're not craving anymore, which is the off switch that I always talk about. And I didn't need a drug to do that.
Yeah,
I didn't eat meat. So yeah, I know there's a big demand for it, and a lot of people are type 2 diabetic people can't get enough of this drug because all the people that want to lose weight are trying to. It's just like, just eat meat, put that money towards buying yourself some meat. You don't need a pill. You don't need a drug. And yeah, it was really hard to watch that show. But when I have an answer here, which is so much healthier for you, which they would need research, they probably think I'm riddled with cancer and going to have a heart attack. And it's like, no way.
No.
I'm the best.
And the nice thing about doing it the carnivore way is there's no side effects that you have to worry about compared to taking those shots.
And I'm not it's like an addiction. These people are fighting over it. One woman found it on the black market and overdosed on her Ozempic because she was that sort of crazy. It's just another addiction to me. They're clamoring for it, and
you go from one to another. Right?
Yeah, and they're going to have to rely on that for the rest of their lives.
Right, and it's just people need to come to grips with the fact that the miracle pill doesn't exist. Right, there is no miracle pill. You can create drugs and processes that manipulate something to have one outcome, but it doesn't make you better. It doesn't make it whole. It doesn't heal you, right? It just treats one thing, and that's what's so screwed up. And that's what the medical system does. This is why they love. The other day, I loved what Dr. Kilt said in SBG meeting, where he said, if you label it, you enable it. I'm like, yeah, I've been saying that forever. Like, I hate these labels. They have to come up with 1,001 labels for everything. Oh, I got X, Y, or Z. I got this thing. I got that thing. There's 1,000 labels out there. And it's just to distract us so that they can concentrate on treating that label. We're going to just treat that label with drugs. Well, it's all the same disease. We're all metabolically sick from what we're eating, and it manifests in different symptoms. And so these labels that they call diseases are symptoms, in my opinion. Obesity is a symptom, diabetes is a symptom, autoimmune diseases are symptoms, but we're all fighting the same illness, which is the poison that we're putting in our body all the time, and the poisons we're getting, subjected to through chemicals and crap that are in our, not just our water, but in our soap and stuff like that. But
Everything. Yep.
yeah, it's just all around us, and we're getting inundated with all this crap that's not good for our body, and it manifests in a symptom, and then we get drugs to manage the symptom. Well, just because you make that symptom go away, because you cut the trigger mechanism or the alert system for that symptom or whatever, or you manipulate it somehow, doesn't mean you're healthy, right? It's just covering up all the underlying stuff, and we continue to get sick. That's why, imagine if you could put your hand on a hot burner and not feel the pain because your nerves aren't working. Does that mean it's good for you just because
Right.
all that it's hot? Like, no, you're gonna consume your hand to the fire because you didn't fix the underlying symptom. You just don't know that it's killing you anymore. You don't know that it's wrecking you. And that's, to me, what these drugs do. They just shut off the symptom. We're supposed to feel pain and discomfort when we're being poisoned. That's a good thing. That's our alert system, and we're not supposed to like it. That's supposed to be real uncomfortable, so we'll stop doing it. And our fine drug system's like, oh no, we'll make it okay so you can keep poisoning yourself, because you know how you love to poison yourself. So just make you not feel it, and you can keep doing it. I mean, just completely psychotic.
It just blows my mind that people are happy to have these signals turned off in their brain by a drug. Like,
Right.
and they're paying for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how about we clear up the problem, and we have a good quality of life, and we grow healthier and stronger and happier, instead of having to take a drug. Hey, I took that Ozempic, and now I'm crapping blood. Whatever it's going to be. I have neuropathy of the gut lining. Like, it's going to be so terrible when they find out. Have you guys ever seen a diet pill not come back like 5 years, 10 years later, and they're like, oh, that was a bad idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen one that stuck around that didn't have the more that they work, the more catastrophic the side effects were. Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of only use pork panko to coat make a couple of times. I like it, but not enough to do it again, obviously. Right. I'm gonna go down that road one time and see if I like it enough to do it frequently.
170 pounds down. Wow.
Awesome.
That's
Well,
awesome, Susan. Yeah, I mean, you lost an entire full-grown large woman. Oh, it's like, yeah, just I don't know. That's where I'm at. I'm like, I really been thinking about it after I can't got through winter and realized that everything kicked in. I'm like, well, this is fine. Like, if I just maintain during the winter
Hmm.
and then I lose during the summer, and that's healthy, and it
Gives your body a break.
yeah, gives you a break, and it makes, just, it gives you, like, it's real. It's not, I've had so many of those fake push changes in my life with those crazy crash diets where it comes off for a second and you get a glimpse of it, but you're not happy, you're sick, all these things are wrong, and it's coming back on. Well, if you can do it like this step down, like this, where your body's healthy, you don't gain in the winter, you lose it in the summer, at least you know that this is like your new constant. This is where you're going to be. You're not going to fall off this. It's not going to be taken from you. You're not going to give it away because of cravings or addiction. So I'm pretty happy with it, which in itself is one of those NSVs everybody talks about, because there was a time that I was not okay with that. There was a time when I was not happy with the slow, steady, but good foundational progress,
Yeah. Stool has been like you since December 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here. In fact, even before that, mine was really started in end of September, 1st October. And then I primed through it all. And I caused my own stall originally, I think, with under eating because I was doing that for too long, which that actually happened in August. I really started to slow down in August and my metabolism was crashing because I was doing OMAD, had for 7.5 months or something, or I guess 8 months even. And so I started slowing down. And then I'm in reaction, I started eating less and less, in addition to it. Well, that didn't help.
Oh,
I got tired, I got weak, couldn't sleep, all sorts of bad
happened to
stuff.
me. Yep.
Joined SPG, did the priming, gained weight, lost shirt sizes, composition changed, but everything healed up. The hair, the eyes, the lymphedema all got exponentially better, started sleeping better, more energy. Then I got ravenous, at least it was proof that my metabolism was back up. And now, then I kind of leveled out, but I was trying to fast. My body wasn't having it during the winter, but now that it's warm, found the 2-to-1 fat to protein ratio is working good. And now my body, and I really think it has more. I think the fat's helping, but I think my body was waiting for summer or spring because now I think it's just the warm weather. My body kicked it into gear, and I think it's just seasonal. So
Hmm.
let's see.
Tips for starting carnivore on a budget. Hi, Alexander.
Eggs and ground beef is my tips.
Chuck roast on sale.
Yep, chuck roast.
That's what I do.
And brisket, that feeds you for 3 or 4 days.
Yep, absolutely. You guys will see some brisket on. I just put the brisket in sous vide, so you guys will see the brisket around Tuesday, Wednesday, and see how that turns out. But that's a lot of meat for
Yeah.
$4.50 a pound.
That's a good price.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your guys' answer and discussions. Thanks, IQ.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much. We appreciate you guys always showing up to hang out with us. We could be a bunch of goofballs talking to ourselves right now. You guys didn't show up for us every week. It's awesome.
Yeah, just talking from our experience. Obviously, we're not doctors, but we've had a lot of conditions between the three of us, so we kind of can talk about how we navigate it all.
Yeah, and if we were a little more indoctrinated and a little more dumb, we could be doctors. Sorry, that was mean.
Hi, Cynthia. I've been struggling so much. I've been tempted to use the Ozempic. I was at my doctor Friday. He brought it up, but we were both on the same page because of the side effects. Yeah.
In there, give this a good shot. Just give it time to work,
I almost went with it before I found Carnivore. I was trying to get it.
Because
I
we're
guess I
desperate.
can.
We're desperate to have an answer, and they take advantage of that place. Like, I went and saw my skin surgeon in January to talk about skin removal, and he's like, "How did you lose weight?" And I said, "Carnivore diet." "Oh, not Ozempic?" I said, "No." "Would you like some?" I'm like, "I just lost 500 pounds, and you're asking me if I need Ozempic to finish myself off?" Like,
He wants his sign-up bonus.
yeah, I just said, "No, thanks. I'm quite happy, with doing what I'm doing." It's like, yeah, I don't like it. It scares me. Like, we were fine to put sugar and crap in our bodies, and now this as well. It's like, I don't know. Sorry.
Are,
Forget it.
are you telling me my prescription strength ripped and chiseled pills are a fraud? What a shocker. No, I think if you're the demographic for those, Joseph, I have some beans that I'll sell you that'll hang you like a donkey. See them on Facebook. No, I'll give you my PayPal and I'll send you back. No, exactly right, Joseph. That's what's so funny about it. Like that's what I continue to say, that I'm guilty of the most is, we want to hear the lie that there's a magic pill so that we can eat the sugar and not be sick and not,
Right.
basically, I mean, isn't that the test of time that we all want to be able to make bad decisions and not suffer the consequences? Like, that's human nature. And these bastards play into human nature, the weakest, worst part of fallen human nature. And they play into that and they try to tell us that it's real to make money off it. And they keep us addicted. And that's what is so ridiculous, Let's see here.
Thank you so much, Todd, Lindy, Michael. I really appreciate support and suggestions. Thank you, Susan. We love having you here.
Absolutely. Susan's like she's the epitome of staying in the carnivore community. Like, she's in every live stream I see. There's not I don't see you in, Susan, which is awesome, because I think that's exactly what it takes, because you keep having your carnivore friends and you keep hearing, the information and learning from all these people. And that makes you strong when you go out there in the world, and you're moving around, you're going, oh, I'm not doing that. Like, I know what's in that. I know where that leads, you're really strong. And then, people can say all their crazy stuff about what you're eating. And, well, I mean, that can't be that bad. I'm like, oh no, it is. That was 715 bad, pounds of bad for me. like it's terrible. I'm not doing it. Just not doing it,
Yeah, she's amazing, Susan. Hi, P. Hello again. I have some hair thinning. Do you know any mineral or vitamins I may be missing?
I give you that one because I know that one of the I know the amino acids help, right? That's one of the things that they're supposed to do, but then the collagen, right?
Collagen is supposed to do. That's what they say. It helps strengthen your hair. I don't know if it's about stopping it falling out, but obviously I was low fat, and that I think contributed to my hair falling out. So I've had to up my fats. But if you lose a lot of weight quickly as well, your body kind of prioritizes healing in other organs. So the first thing to go is going to be your hair. It's not important. It is for you.
It's important, but yeah.
I don't want to be bald.
Body doesn't think, yeah.
Yeah, my body is prioritizing health everywhere else. So I'm upping my fats. I'm now trying to add some more collagen in. I've got a bone broth with extra collagen, which I'm going to be including in my diet, and hopefully that's going to start the hair. It's stopped falling out now, which I'm really happy about. I can brush my hair and not have clumps of hair falling out. But now I'm hoping I can start to regenerate and thicken up again. So that's where I'm at the moment. Hi, Nancy. I was often on diet pills since I was 11 years old, and it affected me in so many ways, like adrenal fatigue and burnout. Now I'm insulin resistant. Hypothyroid is now the same with medication like Ozempic.
And I mean, it's just like, if we all just back up and kind of zoom out a little bit and, have a little overview going, is this stuff really working? Because everybody I know is getting sicker. Like, when you go to the grocery store or drive down the street, or, you're watching people walk around a shopping center, even, going into all these malls and stuff. Does it look like this is working for anybody? Like, it is the most sick I've ever seen any population. Like, everybody is inflamed, walking funny, walking slow, puffy face, dark circles under their eye, dead eyes, not happy at all. They're not walking around with a energy or smile or pep in their step. Some of them are, but the vast majority of people are sick and tired and miserable and depressed and full of anxiety and on drugs. They're on the sugar drug and they're on prescription drugs. And you see it absolutely everywhere. And if all this stuff worked,
right,
it wouldn't look like such a zombie apocalypse right now. You were going to say something, Michael. I cut you off.
No.
Yeah, it's just the fact. Like, this is what is so ridiculous. They got us. with all these labels and stuff, I mean, it really is, you're concentrating on the trees and you can't see the forest because you're looking in, oh, cancer is such a thing, or oh, thyroid disease, or oh, all these little things. They have us so focused. It's like the sleight of hand magician trick to not, so you don't see the big picture. And the big picture is, you guys, they're making us sick. They're making us sick. They're not
Yeah.
making us better.
And I'm just sort of thinking about it now, the reason I'm in such a funk. I have a lot of sickness around me with my girls. My husband's going through issues. My girlfriends have all got issues. And all I hear every day, it's in my face, all these people. And I say, I don't tell them a lot, but I can see most of their symptoms they could fix or improve being carnivore,
Yep.
and it's frustrating the crap out of me because it's right there. And if I do say anything, it's like, oh, but you just had a lot of weight to lose and you look fantastic and I'm so proud of you. But my issues are different. I have this, I have that, and it's not going to fix me. And it's like, even, so I'm trying to be that pillar of inspiration and motivate them and stuff like that. But my issues were different. So to them, it's not going to work. And I'm like, here's a video on it. See, Dr. Beck, like, giving them the information and they still
You
think
need
different.
you need to have them sit in on an NSV and listen to all those people tell what they've changed in their life. It's just not weight loss that this cures.
Yeah. So I know everyone's got loved ones that have got some kind of issue, a medical issue, and you just know Carnivore's going to fix it. But when you've got so many people, and I feel defeated, like deflated right now, because I'm just like, I just want everyone to have these benefits that I'm having. And it is kind of bringing me down, like my emotions, because it saddens me to see people suffering. But I just got to keep strong for myself and keep doing what I'm doing and just hoping that something will snap in their head. I've planted a seed and hopefully they'll jump on or try it, but
That's exactly what I'm talking about. They say that because they think they have a different label, right?
yeah,
You had this label, I have this label.
Right.
And it's
yeah,
like, we know that we all have the same label. And we see that in the SVG meetings. People, they have the same food addictions, they have the same problems eating the right food, they have the same problems staying away from the wrong foods. It all came about by and in correlation to what they ate. But some of them have arthritis, some of them have stomach issues and acid reflux, and some of them have neuropathy, and some of them have lymphedema, and some of them have weight, and some of them have heart issues, and all
yeah,
these things. But they all come from the food, and they all get better when you change the food. And
yeah,
that's what I hate, because the labels give addicts an excuse to be a victim. And I'm not trying to be mean to people. I'm not saying that you don't have a problem if you have cancer or something. But what I am saying is, does it help at all for you to say, because I have cancer, there's no sense in me changing my diet because I just drew bad and I got cancer? It's not what Jeff DeProsperous is doing.
Nope.
And when all these people say, well, that worked for you, but I have a different problem, still, that's no argument, because we can sit here and back up, go, okay, maybe you don't have the same problem I do. I still think you have a different symptom and the same problem, but maybe you don't. But even so, what is for certain is that if you keep doing what you're doing, it's going to keep getting worse, because what you're doing is what's making it bad in the first place. And if
yeah,
you look around, everybody else that's doing the same thing that you're doing, that has your problem, it gets worse, not better. So if you can try anything different to try to turn it around, then do it. And you haven't seen drugs and surgeries and all this stuff be the master fix for any of this stuff. None of the magic pills exist. So do something. And but the biggest problem is we're talking to addicts. And I'm saying this completely respectfully, because we were all
We were all there. Yeah.
were. And so we know, I liked going to the doctor to hear about my thyroid, because that meant that there's just nothing I can do. I'm just going to have to go ahead and eat these, this cheesecake, drink these sodas,
yeah,
because the doctor said, so it's stupid. we have to see what's real. We have to know that we are being lied to, we're being attacked. They want us sick because it's a lot of money for them and a lot of control for them. So we got to not play into their hand. And you just have to do, your own cost and or like, risk analysis here. Do you think that you're going to get better not changing anything? Like if you got a problem and you don't change anything, that's literally the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and hoping for a different result. That's the definition of insanity.
Right.
We got to change something and we have to do it. All this stuff, carnivore and everything, is a tool and it'll pay you back. But we have to decide, that we're not going to be sick anymore. And we have to decide that we don't have to be labeled with this thing, that it's not out of our control. We can make a difference,
Mm.
I'm just reading through. Oh, there's one. Sorry, I missed that one.
I love you guys. Going to sign off now. See you here or SBG events this week. See you.
See ya.
What's our next meeting's tomorrow, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Priming.
Dr. Berry is big on taking iodine drops lately. It's really cheap. Add 3 to 4 drops a day in your drinks, stirred in food. He has a great video explaining the benefits. You're on iodine at the moment, aren't you, Todd?
Where did I put it? Where are you, little sucker? There it is. Yeah, I'm taking the Lugol's 2%, but I'm taking 25 drops a day because why not? No, no.
Because you started.
Yeah, exactly. No, because I'm feeling great, and that's what. Watch the video. Michael linked it a little bit earlier, but it's Dr. Berry's
I'll link it
video
again.
with what is it, Brownstein, Dr. Brownstein, and these drops that I have here are 1 milligram per drop, and he recommended taking up to 25 milligrams a day. So yeah, I just jumped on. I'm feeling pretty snazzy. I think it's working. So mood wise, energy wise, mental energy wise. All right, where am I at here? I worry about under eating mainly because yeah, exactly. That's the leptin sensitivity you get back when you first go carnivore, which is why the SBG's priming protocol is so important, because it'll get your metabolism up, and so that you'll fill in that nutrient void that you're in right now, and then you can get the food in, because it brings up your metabolism. Let me tell you, that works. Costco, I about ran them out of ribeye. And once my metabolism kicked in, I was like, so I do have a metabolism. How about
So that's where I'm at the moment. I've been under eating, so I'm doing a mini prime, which is usually 3 days, and just eat as much as you can in those 3 days, and that should be enough to ramp up my metabolism again, get me nourished, and then I can just go back to eating how I was before.
Yeah.
Lindy, the irony is that people look at the overweight person and think that's their only issue, which is far from the truth for most of us. Exactly.
It's so weird to look at people that are so overweight, especially like us in our bracket, and the last thing people would think is that we're malnourished, but that's exactly what the problem is. It's so crazy. This is why it's just so maddening, the dietary whatever system out there. It's so, it's so wrong. And it can't be out of ignorance. It's got to be out of, malevolence,
Hi, B-Dog. I have a friend that started carnivore 4 days ago and he's 32, already has brain fog cleared and stomach pains are gone. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
It's nice
That's
when
huge.
you can inspire someone to give it a go. And that's all you ask. Give it a go for 30, 60 or 90 days. And if it doesn't
What do you got
work,
what do you
whatever.
got to lose?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just give it a go.
For sure.
Fantastic. Do you think lipedema can be cured by the carnivore diet? I'm keeping positive. It's definitely better. The pain has gone for me. I don't have the lipedema pain I used to have, so you could definitely manage the symptoms a lot easier on carnivore. But
I think it can. I mean, I don't think that there's anything, I think our bodies are built to regenerate tissue. I think our bodies are naturally built to heal. Plus not to preach to anybody, but I'm a Christian. I believe that, I'm going to do the best I can with carnivore, and where that stops, God's going to have to come in. But I can tell you that I'm watching my lymphedema, which was pretty significant in my left leg, and it's healing. So I am very, very happy about that, especially the more I fast, which is why I'm so into the 2-to-1 fat ratio, because it's making me be able to have these really long fasts and make it easy. And every time I fast and go into autophagy, I watch that damage heal up. So yeah, I think you can absolutely get it back. Plus, I'd love to hear what DC says about this, because he had a seriously compromised lymphatic system. So, and I think he's doing fantastic. So I think it absolutely heals. That's DC at Learning to Live.
Mary, seriously, why I'm here every Sunday night listening to you all. No one wants to hear it in my world. I appreciate all your wisdom, support. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. I know that we're the outcast, but honestly, in a dysfunctional world, we don't want to be part of we don't want to be part of the majority. Like, that's not good. The majority is sick. The majority is depressed, full of anxiety, and miserable. Right. So it's a good thing to not be part of that majority. Plus, it's a good thing to be an outlier, to be full of health, and to be growing younger, because these people that are part of the majority are our family and friends, and they need an example. They need to know that it can be done. And I think that's our part now. I think that's, I don't know if you want to call it a ministry or whatever, but that's what we're doing now. And so I think it's great to be a part of it. And stand strong, and don't be fear mongered too when your doctors tell you that your heart's going to explode and that you need to be on antidepressants and beta blockers and all this nonsense.
Statins and
Yes,
all that.
all the crap. Just, we do it despite all their genius white coat professional wisdom. We do it, and we show people how to do it, and we go, of course that's how it works, because that's how all of our ancestors did it for the entire existence of our species, and you guys were lying to us. That's how we changed this thing.
Lindy, my best friend knows it's true. Lots of health issues and prescription, and she needs to do keto, carnivore, woe, and needs to get off there. Sad, but she won't let go of her woe. Yeah. Yeah, I do have a
Absolutely.
friend that she's like, "Oh, I've got such and such, an issue. Maybe I should do carnivore." I need to say to her, "Yes, maybe you should," but I haven't said anything. I'm just like, "Oh, whatever." I just kind of overlook her, but she says that to me all the time now. Maybe I should do carnivore. I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to say? Just do it. If that's what you want to do, just do it." Like, I think it would help you a lot, but I just hate how she's just keeps throwing it at me. Maybe I should do carnivore.
Yeah,
Like, what do you say to that? Like,
I don't know. Maybe something like, when you're ready, give me a holler if you need
the last
advice.
weeks, and it's like, just do it. Jump in. I've given you all the
Right.
videos. But yeah. And then she's like, I can't eat. I like my vegetables. Well, do ketovore. You don't need to be strict carnivore. Maybe, you can always tighten it up later if you need to. But
Start someplace.
it's frustrating me.
I know what you mean. It's a rough one.
It's so true. It's an addiction. I was keto for 5 years and caved during COVID lockdown. Now I'm here starting over. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's why I fell off of ketovore for 2.5 years, and it didn't stick, because the cravings were never gone. They got better, but they weren't gone. I still had, my depression, anxiety got better, but it wasn't gone. And the anxiety still had me being compulsive and addictive and all those things. And the foods kept triggering cravings. And, I was going on this circle, and it wasn't until carnivore. And now, I just, I have no worries at all about ever falling off the wagon because I am so like that hold on me is so broken. It's just gone. That does not exist anymore. And that's what I just wish I wish we could just zap people and they would feel that, feel that freedom for just a minute and they would know it works.
Really awesome how much you have all lost. At 364, I felt if I got any bigger, they were going to use me as a float on the Macy Thanksgiving Day parade, probably right behind Garfield.
That's awesome. Joseph, you're a lightweight comparatively. So no, you're doing awesome. But man, it's all relative, right? Because we're all on a different speed here. But I mean,
Yep.
absolutely, man. It's like it works for all of us, and we're all going to get there, just as long as it's sustainable and we keep healing and we just have the food freedom, like Lindy calls it, the off switch. That's all that matters. And then we all know it's just a matter of time. But we gotta not let the propaganda, the lie get to us, which means we just got to keep our mind right here. Right here in the carnivore community, the steak and butter gang are, videos like this, live chats like this, communities like this, the meat sisters, group, the Carrie Mann's group and Bella and, Adam and all those people, just, Baker and Chafee and all those guys and Barry, just keep watching all the videos, keep listening to the success stories. And then, because once you get inundated with that every day and you see the truth and you know that these people don't have any reason to lie to you. They're not getting paid to lie to you. These people don't have anything to gain. They're genuine as can be because they're like, here's my before and after picture. This saved my life. I wish I wouldn't have screwed around with the pills for so long. If I, isn't it crazy how we listen to all these progress, stories and transformation stories? And one of the most common thing is, boy, I wish I would have done this longer before I had all these side effects from the medication, before I had all these other things to overcome because I did all these professional doctor things that made me sicker and I had a bigger mountain to climb now because it all made me worse. Like we can get over that hump. So just when you see all that and you hear all those stories, not only about how they got better, but also their journey, how the medicine made them worse, their doctor's advice made them worse, and you keep seeing that over and over, it changes your perspective when you go out in the world and you get inundated with all the bull crap and the propaganda. It really makes it easy to go, yeah, well, I now see you guys as the psychopaths. So I don't really care because you guys are crazy. You guys are nuts. I'm not going to join your zombie apocalypse today. Thank you so much. You can have your Burger King and your McDonald's. I'm going to go make steak. I don't care how many cow farts they put out. Like it's just, it keeps you in the right head, right mind. See, IQ. Very good chatting with you.
So yeah. You're welcome tomorrow. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully, definitely keep this up to date. And, if you're needing help or whatever, definitely look into Steak and Butter Gang. That's where we go for extra advice and support. And we will see you there if you end up in there.
Yeah, motivation, daily motivation. Yeah. Thank you, Laura.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, we agree. I mean, same. We feed off you guys the same way, just like-minded people.
I just finished my tri-tip supper. That is my favorite now.
Tri-tips are.
I don't know what.
We'll smoke one in Texas. So you can try one, but yeah, tri-tips. They're tougher meat. They're kind of right up there with like chuck roast. They're a little bit. They have long stringy muscles. They're you can get them really good marbled though too, but they're good. I like them. They have a lot of flavor. They're good texture, but you do have to slow cook them. I love them in the crock pot too and smoked. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to do one of those on camera.
What's the difference of priming and just eating carnivore?
If I had to give it a quick explanation, priming is like working out with food, right? Like it's not easy. You got to push it and you got to make it, you got to eat with a purpose, you know? So it's like working out, and you work out your metabolism muscle by nourishing your body and eating on a schedule and eating when you're not hungry. And it sounds stupid. It sounds like, well, that's not what I want to do because I want to undereat. But
I
what it
know.
does is it
Opens you
works.
up. Yep.
Yep, it opens up your appetite, it heals your body, and it cranks up your metabolism to where you need to be. And so, because we're all undernourished, and but because we're not used to, we're all so dysfunctional when it comes to food. We all had such a, you know, we're all starving ourselves, and we all are so malnourished that we don't even know how to eat right, you know, and we get so worried about stupid things. And so, thing is eating on a schedule with a purpose, even when you don't want to, putting the food down, getting the fat and the protein in, and then watching your metabolism. Because then your body goes, oh, this new food environment is really available to me now. So then it allows your metabolism to pump up. It starts putting those nutrients to work, starts healing things, and then it's a whole new ball game from there. Because then you are, yeah, you have good nutrients. You're no longer in a nutrient deficit.
Yes. And since we're talking about priming here, Joseph was talking that he's doing only OMADs at the moment. He might want to try a little bit of priming.
I would, I did OMADs for the first 7.5 months. I lost weight, but I also caused myself to have one hell of a metabolism crash that took
Yep.
me 6 months or more to get back.
Happened to me.
Yeah, the metabolism crash, and it's because I know you think you're making so much progress because you don't have the appetite, and OMADs are so easy. Well, that's the thing. OMADs are easy, but it's not necessarily what's best because we're just under eating, and that's slowing our metabolism down. Our metabolism, we want a high metabolism so that
So it's
it'll put
burning.
everything to work, and so it's burning that stored fat. But when it thinks you only have a tiny amount of food, it's scared to run, and so that's why you get tired, and
Right.
it just starts running at a real slow pace. So yeah, I think everybody should prime before they do any intermittent fasting or OMADs, and you should be happy. I mean, I gained 20 pounds, but I lost 3 shirt sizes when I was doing that, and I had composition changes because I was eating so much food. I was eating 6 to 7,000 calories of meat a day. It was crazy, and I did that for months on end, and I gained muscle, and I leaned out, and I had composition changes, and I felt good, and now I can eat 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day for half the week and fast half the week, and I feel perfect. Like it's so much easier because what you don't realize is leptin is blocked by insulin. So when you get on carnivore, you get leptin back, leptin sensitivity back. Leptin is your satiety hormone. You're not used to having sensitivity to your satiety hormone, and fat's also very satiating. So it's like a double whammy. So you're like, all I need is a pound of meat a day. you know, you think you're golden, but it's not a great thing. It's fine if you think you just want to lose some weight at first, but that's not really the goal here. We're all trying to get healthy and kind of heal up.
Yeah, focus on healing first. The weight loss will happen in time.
I'd be interested in hearing what he's having for that OMAD, because I know when I was doing it, when I was struggling, I would struggle to eat 3 eggs and 2 or 3 pieces of sausage, and I'd be stuffed on those last couple bites.
You have any of those pictures loaded up of some of my meals that I was eating by chance? If you don't, just so Joseph could get an idea after I primed what I was putting down in a meal, because I mean it's a shocker. Like it was for me. I was like, I can't believe I'm eating this.
And we're not saying you need to eat like Todd.
Now,
No,
don't eat
no.
like that, no.
No.
I'm just saying that I didn't have to force myself. This was what my body wanted for about 6 months. Yeah, I was putting down like four New Yorks, 4 ribeyes at a time. I was just taking them down, and it was crazy. And that was back when I wasn't having gluconeogenesis issues. But
There's
yeah, that was that's a pretty big cutting board, and I took all that down. And that was just a meal, and it wouldn't even be an OMAD. That was like a lunch. So just putting that out there, because and that was after Yeah, that was my 3 T-bones and some andouille sausage. Yeah, I was just knocking it down, and at first I couldn't eat more than like a pound and a quarter of meat. And that was my progress I made in 6 weeks of putting it in. And then I was like, yeah, those are pickled jalapenos and about, I don't know, 3 pounds of ribeye sliced up. I was putting that down. I was loving it. And then I got satiated, everything healed up, and now I'm able to fast and everything's just really calmed down. But that's what I had to do for first. But when I went through all that, my eyes healed up. I grew all the hair back on my eyebrows. My hair on my head started growing again. My lymphedema started healing up. My back started feeling better. My posture got way better. I remember showing just everything was getting better. Composition changes, my mobility, just everything was getting better. Just so much stronger. And now I'm leaning out again. So I don't know. I definitely put that in the front. Is this where we're at next?
No. Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
Because I jumped because we were talking about priming.
Right. That's why I was looking around. I was like, where?
Yep. Yeah, we're good. I cleaned them all up.
Perfect.
The carnivore community is what keeps us going. Support, information, and inspiration are huge for our mental and emotional well-being. Absolutely.
100%.
Hi, Angels Asylum. I've tried carnivore and felt great. Then all of a sudden, my legs swelled up and were hurting so bad it was crazy and scared me. But then I learned it was probably the inflammation thing that caused by cheese. Yeah.
I turn into a sea cow if I eat dairy. Like I swell up if I eat dairy. So I wouldn't doubt that one bit.
Yeah. And 2 years into carnivore, Christmas time, I had quite a bit of dairy for all the social things. I just went to the charcuterie boards, ate the dairy, and I suffered. It took me a fast to actually get rid of that fluid that I had build up in my legs. Yeah, it lingered for a while. So dairy's no good for me either.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eggs and bacon hamburger is relatively inexpensive, but won't stop you buying all the other crap you'll find that just by buying meat is actually cheaper. Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
And especially when it's a little expensive when you're priming because you're going to be eating a lot more. But then that's just an upfront cost of healing. But then the backside of that is you fast a lot. And then it gets really cheap. Like right now, it's super cheap for me to eat because I'm only eating like half the week, and I'm also doing more fat, so my meals are really small. So it's super cheap. When I was eating a bunch of ribeyes every day and stuff, that was expensive. But even to Janet's point, I don't buy nicotine anymore. I don't buy caffeine anymore. I don't buy sugar anymore. I don't buy snacks anymore. I don't, stop by the coffee hut in the morning. I don't get energy drinks. I don't buy soda or any of that stuff. So, it's kind of like, and I don't get sick. I've been sick really one time in 15 months and it wasn't terrible. I still worked, I, I don't use much toilet paper anymore. That sounds funny, but when you're carnivore, you only go like twice a week, right? Like everything's better. Also, you don't stink anymore. You don't spend a lot of time like with all these soaps and stuff, like, and your skin gets better. Like just everything's just cheaper. You just consume less stuff because you don't require so much help to like maintain everything. You know what I mean? And not to mention the prescription medication's gone, and I don't have a cabinet full of NyQuil and Tums and Pepto-Bismol and all that stuff. You just, this is my frill right here is these sparkling waters, which I'm gonna not be doing next month for a test. But yeah, that's my only thing that comes close to any kind of money that I spend that's not food. Just
Yeah. And once you're done with priming, you naturally intermittent fast. It's not a forced fast. You just naturally don't feel hungry, and your meals become sort of more distant. So yeah, for people that don't like to fast, you don't have to, but you will naturally just tend to gravitate to that. Some people hear carnivore and picture eating only dried out chicken breast. They need to hear how much variety there is in carnivore, ketovore, Yes, Laura. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it really is funny when you start doing it because, you know, uh even the different cut, even though it's all beef, different cuts of beef and the different ways you cook it do make an amazing difference at what you're eating, like a beef stew is way different than a steak or a chuck roast or something. And uh you can just mix things up and it totally, I don't know, I like it. It makes it so much easier for me. Like hamburger, I like to do those breakfast bowls. And so sometimes it's bacon, sometimes it's steak and eggs, sometimes it's bacon and eggs, sometimes it's hamburger and eggs, but they're always good, and they all taste different.
Yep.
When we talked to someone, I'm not going to mention names, but they said, "Oh, I've been doing a lot of carnivore myself. I eat a lot of turkey breast and protein shakes."
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so what animal did you hunt, kill, and skin to get the protein shake out of? Like,
It's vegan.
right. It's pretty funny. Like, yeah, I remember.
It's all plant based.
Yeah, how many protein shakes did you get out of that deer you killed? You know what I mean?
To laugh about that. And the turkey breast, I don't think there's a lot of fat in that, so it's not going to get you very far.
No,
And I
no,
think
not
that still struggles with cravings and things like that. It's like you need your meat, you need fat.
exactly, exactly. But that's why we just got to keep having these conversations so that people can see that because people don't understand. Everybody has a different idea. I saw a comment on one of Bella's videos, and the guy was like, eat all the meat, even the bugs. I'm like, no.
No bugs.
No,
We're
thanks.
not eating the bugs. Do not talk about. We're like, that's what everybody's trying. The government and the Bill Gates are trying to push is bugs protein. It's like, no, there's a difference. Not all protein is the same. Not all animals are the same. We're not meant to eat bugs. We're meant to eat ruminant animals, not bugs.
Dr. Stone spends 700 to 900K in college to help people. It's for the money. Prescription kickbacks, I know firsthand.
$1,000,000%. Can you think of like a service and like a service industry that has a shittier track record than doctors do, the medical, the sick care system that have a shittier track record than they do of fixing anything and still be in business? Like their only reason that the sick care system survives is because they screwed up our food system to make it addictive and to hurt us. So it's the addiction that keeps the drug companies alive. It's not the drug companies. It's not their wonderful advice. It's not that they're putting out a product that people that's helping people. It's because they created a system that makes us sick so that we'll need their drugs to cope. And that's it. That's the only reason that lives. And that's why I'm like, wouldn't it be great if we eat food the way we're meant to, support our local farmers, don't comply when they try to tell us we're going to eat bugs and lab grown meat. Like we stand up, that's the hill we die on, right?
That's where I'm
Plant our
dying
feet.
on.
That's the one I'm dying on.
Yep.
Plant our feet. We all get healthy. The healthier we get, and the more people see that we're healthy, the more people will be on our team, right? And then the drug companies die. I mean, there is going to be a hell of a fight, and it's going to take a long time. But people need to see this, and that's what we're really fighting for. We are fighting this propaganda because the drug companies can't exist unless the sickness exists, and the sickness doesn't exist unless the food stays screwed up. They're doing it on purpose. It's got to be addictive and it's got to be making us sick. They're doing it.
Josephine, that can be. So is this a response to someone else?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong one. There we go.
Thank you.
Todd must have started that one.
Okay. I had to prime. Hi, Holly. I tried going back to carnivore after a few months and it wasn't the same. So I'm starting over with priming. Yeah. Recommend that.
Right. I mean, you're doing fine. It's going to help you. You're going to get healthier. You're going to feel better. And who cares? Like, as long as we get healthy and as long as we feel better, there's no time clock on this thing. Let's just do it right,
Hi, Kathy. Do you all find that our bodies don't sweat as much? And I find that I don't need deodorants. I use it, but not need it. Also,
Yep.
did you guys gums bleed after your teeth were whiter? And
I used to bleed all the time. Like if I got anywhere
Don't bleed
closer
no more.
to no blood no more.
no. And I use deodorant because I just like the smell, but I don't need it. I don't feel like I smell at all. My
Nope.
husband says I don't anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, Todd freeze up.
No, I was just reading that. Sorry, I should have read it out loud. I do that all the time. Todd, when you had congestive heart failure, did they tell you not to use salt? And do you think that the good Redmond salt is okay? I don't believe anything they recommend. Yeah, they told me to lower the salt and all this nonsense and whatever. But yeah, I didn't listen to them. I just ate salt to taste. Now I will tell you that I eat less salt now than I did when I first started. But I think it's just like everything that we are in a deficit, so we crave more of it because we have a real big hole to fill. And then as you fill it, then you're more on maintenance, and most of the meat has enough stuff in it that you'll see that it tapers down. I did that on electrolytes. I did that on supplements and vitamins and amino acids and like everything. And as I did it, they were a great help to me. And then after pretty much it's almost seemed like 6 months, 4 to 6 to maybe 8 months in, I just noticed I did not crave them anymore. I wasn't getting the effect out of them. And I think it's just because we get satiated. I would see the benefits from them, and then I just didn't need them anymore. So, but yeah, and I don't know. I'm gonna try to get an echocardiogram either in Texas or right when I get back from Texas, because I want to get the DEXA scan when we're in Texas. I want to get some blood tests maybe when we're in Texas, or just before I go to Texas, or just after. But I want to have my DEXA scan and echocardiogram and my blood work, and then we're putting it all out there. Maybe I can talk to Barry or somebody and see if he'll read them and make a video out of it, so I can show the before and afters, because I don't know all that stuff. The what do they call that? The infraction rate or whatever of your valves when your heart for the congestive heart failure and stuff. I don't have any proof like on paper that all this stuff's healed up, because I haven't been back to the doctor. I was there once and he told me that he was worried about my diet, so I told him he's an idiot, and I haven't been back since. So I got to go back and I got to get it on paper. But I'm not on oxygen. I don't look like I'm going to die tomorrow. I can walk without breathing. I don't have this terrible tightening in my chest, and I have a asthma attack every time I try to move. You know, like all this stuff is gone. I don't have those problems. I also don't gain 84 pounds of fluid in 3 weeks if I don't take my fluid pills. Like I might fluctuate 15 pounds now in a month, but I don't I don't fluctuate 80 pounds now, which is great evidence that I don't have congestive heart failure anymore. You know what I mean? But we're gonna get it all on paper, and I want to, because I mean that would be just great to the doctors and stuff that all told me not to eat salt and not to eat meat, and the guy that said I had that he was worried about my diet. I can't wait to get all that down. So, but yeah, I think Redmond's is just fine. That's what I put. I put pounds of Redmond salt on my steaks in the first year for sure.
Linda, I have had aversion from years of vegetarian, like etc. lifestyle. I get those two when I grab butter and chew. It gets it better until I can't handle butter. Need to get some tallow. Yeah.
I feel like there's something about it that I think our body's more aligned with the tallow. It's just my personal opinion, but I think so.
Mm. Thank you for discussing priming. I need to research this more. Might be what I need. Yeah,
Right
Steak
on.
and Butter Gang, highly recommend them, and you'll learn everything there. Great supportive community.
Absolutely. It's what got me there.
Mm. Hi, Russell. Was thinking about buying a second barbecue, one that smokes also. Anyone got the Ninja outdoor wood fire electric barbecue grill and smoker with smart probe?
I haven't yet. I was looking at it. It looks pretty sweet though, and it's a good size for just like a 1 or 2 people. So I bet it would be awesome. I love everything Ninja that I have, so I'm
Yep.
sure it's not bad. You know,
Agree.
I got a Ninja pan now that I really like. I was like, that thing's sweet. I like all the Ninja stuff. I like it. But I have a Traeger smoker, so but that all would work good. So I bet it'd be just fine. Smoked steak is pretty freaking awesome.
Joseph, got another friend of mine to go carnivore, and you just hit a week and 20 pounds down. I hope he keeps it going. Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and he
Mm.
feels so good, because that first 20 pound, well, that first whatever, I don't know how big your friend is, but that first massive amount of weight that gets lost in the first
Yeah.
90 days is all fluid and inflammation, which it's so weird, right? You listen to these people that are, that was just fluid. And it's like, that was killing me and making me sick and
Right.
making me feel pain.
And weighing your ass down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't care. I don't care if it was helium. The crap was making me sick. It was bad. And so it's so great when the body releases all that inflammation and you see it all come down and you get lighter, and your body just functions better. I mean, that if you could bottle that feeling, just as long as your friend remembers how that feels and he just starts getting addicted at feeling better every day. That's one of the big tricks. But congratulations.
Oh, I just took my trash out and less than a full kitchen bag for the whole week. Carnivore is way cheaper than what I ate before and less trash. Exactly. Yeah. I bought myself a brand new car. Like I had a deposit for a brand new car just by going carnivore because all the money that I have saved has been accumulating in my account. So I do hear a lot of people say it's expensive, but if you really sat down and did the figures, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised.
And I get it because it's an upfront cost. It's an
Yeah.
upfront cost when you first do it because you don't understand it quite yet. Like I used to overbuy meat because I used to buy meat like I used to buy all my other food and it was too much.
Yeah.
So because you'd think you needed all this stuff because it's so weird. You think, oh, I can't possibly go to the store and get, bacon, eggs, and hamburger and be fine for a week, but you can.
Can be. Yeah. You'll be
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's easy just to whip a steak out of the freezer and cook it in the Ninja, and there's your meal. So there's no wastage at all. I don't know how many vegetables and fruits and things I'd had to throw
Would
out.
rot. Yeah.
Go bad in the fridge after a couple of days. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know any wastage.
Nope, and that's why I'm lazy when it comes to prepping and stuff. I have other things I like to spend my time on, but I've gotten even better. Like if you're watching my stupid cooking video yesterday, all that is so that so I'm gonna cook it all and then I vacuum seal it so I can take it out of the freezer when I'm ready to eat it because it takes a little bit, but then so you kind of have a rough week of cooking stuff, not even that rough. It's not bad, but you're gonna have extra food. And then, but you can package it up. And I really like the vacuum sealers because you can put it in the sizes that you want, vacuum seal it, put it in the freezer, and it'll keep for 8, 9 months without getting freezer burn. And then you can pull it out, you can defrost it, or my favorite is put it in the sous vide because no matter what it is, I don't care if it's steak, I don't care if it's hamburger, I don't care if it's meat chili, I don't care what it is, you can put it in the sous vide and drop it in there and put it at 125, 130 degrees. You're not going to overcook it. And when in 4 hours later, it's going to be hot and ready to go. And and yeah, I know that's 4 hours, but like you're literally picking up a bag, putting it in the thing in the morning and walking away from it.
Pushing buttons. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you're ready, you just go get what you want, cut open the bag, dump it in a bowl or on a plate, and you're good to go. And it's freaking delicious, and it makes it a lot cheaper that way. So much cheaper. And it's so good because I get so mad. I get the Costco meats and stuff. And if you can't just put it in the freezer, it'll get freezer burn in the package that it's in. If you put it in the fridge, it leaks blood everywhere. Drives me insane. Nothing makes me more mad than blood leaks all over because of their crappy packaging. God, I hate that. But yeah, Yeah, it's a change of process, but once you get it down, it's super easy, you know? Like, I mean, how long did that video take last night? I cooked, like, most of 3 meals in, like, 2.5 hours that's gonna feed me for quite literally with the fasting, 2 weeks, you know?
Nice. I just changed my cat and dog to a lower fat beef mince for the first time. My cat ate a big portion of it once, so I'm pleased. Yeah, nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, and, Cosette just eats, plain chuck stew, so it's cut in cubes, but there's not a bunch of fat on it. There's some inside of it, but they trimmed all the fat off, and that's what she lives on. Well, I think I showed that in my video last night too.
It feels funny eating hot silver side and white sauce without all the trimmings like mashed potatoes and peas, etc., like I've been doing for years.
Yeah, but just those, I don't know, what do you call those, like, process habits or whatever, because you're so used to associating them. But yeah, I know it's funny. It's funny how that works.
I honestly think that if I were to begin life eating correctly, then it would most likely help with mental illnesses as well. Hopefully, anyway. I think all of us feel if
150.
we had started a lot earlier, our lives would have been completely different.
Oh boy. Yeah,
You know,
and I mean, um, yeah, 100%. Let me pull up that live Carrie did that with Dr. Eid, because yeah, I mean, depression, anxiety, all that stuff completely went away for me when I
mm.
started carnivore. Man, where did that go? There we go. There you go. Yeah, you can check that out. But yeah, I'm 100%. I truly believe that 99% of mental illness is just food. Our brain's 70% cholesterol, and they got us on a low fat, no fat bullshit diet.
Yeah,
Like,
and pills to get rid of cholesterol.
yeah, I mean, they're doing it on purpose. They're trying to make us stupid. They're putting fluoride in the water and spraying, doing chemtrails of fluoride, and then they're taking the fat out of our food, and then they're making the stupidest generation of people that they possibly can. And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's the truth. They're trying to make us stupid. Let's see here.
For the new folks, Kerry from Homestead Howe just had a doctor report that his 40-year-old heart murmurs and irregular heartbeat is 100% gone. Has been carnivore for a little less than a year.
Amazing.
Exactly.
And look, he suffered with that for 40 years.
Exactly. And it's awesome. But they'll tell you that can't heal, right? Tell you your lymphatic system can't heal. They'll tell you congestive heart failure. I asked Dr. Barry, because my cardiologist said that that most congestive heart failure won't heal, and it can't heal. That the heart damage, organ damage, has got to be mostly permanent. It can improve, but you'll never get rid of it. That's what they say. And I asked Ken Barry, and he goes, "Bullshit." He said congestive heart failure will heal. So yeah, it's nonsense. They want us to believe because it's good for business for us oh yeah, it happened to you. Can't go back now. So now drugs, these pills, you're forced to. Too bad you did it to yourself because you didn't moderate how much sugar you ate. You can have sugar, you just can't have 2,500 calories of it. You got to be down to 1,975 calories because of the TDDLE calculator that we did. And you went past that, so it's your fault. Now you're hooked on drugs for the rest of your life. Sign here, pay the pharmacist. I mean, it's so stupid.
Mm. Holly, but I helped my son and he was 375 and lost 145 pounds. Wish I was young. He lost it in 10 months. I struggle more than he did. He had lost more mobility, hadn't lost mobility yet, and he is 23. And yeah, okay. No, you're not. Yeah.
That's okay. We all were at Oompa Loompa status at one point in time, but we are un-oompa-looping. We will see you there. We're the longer we did this and the more damage we cause takes us a little bit longer, but who cares if it takes 6-7 years? Like, it's getting better every day, and that's a good thing. And you're not getting worse either. So that's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also, is there anything better than changing your son's life? That's incredible.
Has anyone tried a fruity drink? To me, they now taste off. It's amazing how things taste and smell differently.
Yep.
Most ghost smells.
I
Yeah,
haven't
I have.
tried a fruity one.
No.
I went to a restaurant where for the first time in 15 months. When I got in there, I was like, what is that stink? And for whatever reason, it was making me feel weird just to smell it. And it was the seed oil they were frying with, like all their seed oils they were frying with. When you go back, it's like that stuff reeks.
Yeah.
I know
My
why they call it rancid
Everybody's so
oils.
used to it. Yeah,
Yeah, and they
everybody's so
call it
used to
rancid
it.
oils. Now I know why.
My daughter has a lot of fruity teas, and like I still drink like a peppermint tea. I like a peppermint tea at nighttime before bed. But she's like, "Oh, try this one," and I just have a sniff, and that's enough to turn me off. The sweetness of that tea. So I stick with my peppermint. Mm. What do you think about tomahawk steaks?
They're a gift from God. Think about tomahawk steaks. They're expensive, but they're definitely on the menu for special occasions and birthdays and Christmas and any excuse that I can come up with because they're delicious. They just taste better bone in, and then the bigger the bone, I don't know, it just makes you feel a little bit more primal, I suppose.
I've only ever had the one, and it wasn't optimal. It was at a restaurant, and it came with sauces and stuff, but geez, it was good. So I would like to try one in Texas if I can convince Todd to to cook it for me.
Have them. We're gonna have them when we do we can't talk about it yet, but we're gonna have them, and you guys are all gonna see it.
Like, can we do the Fred Flintstone and hold it by the bone? And
We're
yeah,
gonna. I want a rack of those ribs that flipped over Fred Flintstone's car.
Yep, there you go. Those are dino ribs. Yep.
Dino ribs.
If you make hamburger jerky right before bed, you can sleep while it's cooking. Yeah, I don't like having appliances on at night because my birds are actually in the kitchen sort of lounge area. So if anything happens, yeah, they're very sensitive with their lungs. So I'd probably burn something and wake up to find them. Yeah, so I don't do anything at nighttime. No appliances. I bought that Ninja smoker last year. It's fantastic. Oh, nice.
I bet it's good. I'll have to give it a try then. I'm starting to become a ninja collector. Appliances. Not at all, Scott.
I felt brainwashed by the low-fat crap. Thank God I finally learned the truth. Yeah.
No, you gotta eat the fat so your brain works right, and then you're like, you guys are all full of shit.
Yep.
So ridiculous.
My dad was just diagnosed with congestive heart failure a couple of days ago, starting him on Carnivore right away. I know for a fact it will heal him, no doubt. I'm so sorry, Kimberly, but that's the best thing he could do. I hope he can stay the course.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's it can only get better, right? It can't get worse. He's already doing the thing that makes him worse. So when you change that, it can't get worse.
Today, my sibling was trying his best to get on my nerves. Before I would have reacted. I was in Carnivore Zen. I had walked 10K steps outside of my comfort zone. Have you all experienced this Zen? Absolutely, every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't use near the words that I would normally. When I'm explaining my genuine disdain for for the drug companies and the food companies and the propaganda and all the nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Carnivore Zen is very real.
I've been carnivore for 3.5 years now, and I can smell the taste of any hint of seed oils. Yeah, it's foul too, isn't it?
Right. And, I mean, just so many things too, right? Like the reason why I keep buying these in glass bottles is I can't drink out of a plastic bottle anymore because it just makes everything taste like chemicals. Like, it drives me nuts. So, and that's why I like the Chicago packing company brand of tallow, because the tallow is a neutral whatever, and it picks up whatever the kind of takes on the flavor, whatever it's packed in. And I wish I could find a big one that's in glass, but nobody wants to ship glass. And yeah, I believe that it might not really be bleeding off too much stuff, but whatever, it's picking up the flavor and I can taste it. And it drives me nuts because everything has a chemically taste to it. That's why I really love the glass bottles now, you know?
Yeah. And if you go to a restaurant and you try different foods, we went to like a Japanese restaurant and you have a little bit of the meat and whatever, but everything has that same taste. Like they use the same oil for every dish and it's terrible. So, yeah, I just hate it. I love just eating at home now.
Right?
Todd, you realize watching you cook is like window shopping in the food court for us?
I didn't know that, but yeah, I know. I don't know. It just I got a few things that take a little bit of time, so I wanted to get them all out there, and I figured, well, you guys could see how I do all three of these things. But well, that's awesome. I hope you like them. I'm gonna get better at them. It's so hard to get the camera right. And then yesterday I wasn't feeling great because I ate too much food. I accidentally stretched out my second fast too long. Not on purpose. I just got busy, and it wasn't too long. But what it did do was I can just go straight back into eating if I fast for 3 days to 3.5 days, which is 84 hours. But if I go like 4.5 days, it's like it's a little bit too far gone. So you kind of got to break into eating. I didn't break into eating. I just ate a whole steak and a bunch of tallow. And then it hit kind of hard because I didn't have stomach acid. So I was finding that out last night when I was cooking that I don't feel so great. I I didn't have everything ready. Plus, I washed my microphone, and then I sounded like a chipmunk because my new microphone sucked. It was it was rough. Long story short, in the future, I'm bound to get better at this.
At least you're doing it, so that's good.
Right. At least I don't have to listen to Michael tell me that, yeah, we've all heard about your cooking videos.
Didn't see
You're not-
microwave today. Will we all be walking across the road to Terry Black's? I think we'll definitely be going then there at some stage.
Probably later in the trip after the Hack
Yeah.
Your Health frenzy's over. We'll go in there when it's not
Busy.
when they're not cracked out with with carnivores.
I think last year they were saying they had to wait in line 2 hours to actually get seated. So, yeah, we don't like to wait for our food.
Definitely not.
When you're in Austin, make sure you go to Frogo. Yeah, I think, yeah, we are.
We are, because we're having an SPG meetup on Friday or Saturday. I don't remember which one now. But yeah, we're having a powwow at Fogo de Chao for sure.
Yes, can't wait. Today must have, I think we had that one.
Wait.
The carnivores in, yeah. Hi, Lindy, Michael, and Todd. This carnivore lifestyle help Kerry's irregular heartbeat to be normal now. Yeah.
Yep, it is nothing short of amazing.
Also, Dr. Avadia, Philip Avadia. He's a heart specialist and he's got a channel. Lots of information there.
Absolutely.
Lindy, will you be flying alone or with your husband or family? I'm coming with my youngest daughter. She's 21, Ella. So just the two of us. My husband doesn't have his passport, and Catherine was hoping to come, my oldest, but because of her eye issue, she won't be able to come. So just me and my youngest daughter.
I think we caught up. How about that?
We have.
And it's 3 hours and 6 minutes. Man, and you guys are still hanging out with us. That was awesome.
Yeah, geez.
Well, we got some fun shows coming up here because we got some people we're interested in talking to. So we'll be scheduling them here soon. And so keep an eye out for that. And I'm gonna keep trying to make these disaster cooking videos for you so that you can see me show you what not to do with meat. But we'll keep doing that. And man, it was fun. Man, the 3 hours just flies by.
It does.
You guys are awesome.
Always do.
Yep. But we appreciate you guys, and we will see you. I think we're going to see you next Saturday, actually. I think we're going to see you next Saturday for a special episode and also next Sunday. So,
Oh, that'll be great. I look forward to that one. So, yeah, watch for the thumbnail.
for sure. But we will see you guys next time. Appreciate y'all.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.